team of this caliber.
Well, it's a higher level.
Experience.
That's for dang sure. G2. They reached their peak of what they could in their group, getting 3rd seed. The top 2 seeds they haven't seen just yet. Want to prove themselves. Not going to be able to do so probably in this round, but still, a lot of these players from G2,
one enemy remaining.
You usually see them coming up big in some of the biggest matches possible in their careers. Some of the biggest playoff runs in Valorant history have come from the core of this team.
The expectations for G2 in this half is you need a solid attacking side. It's 100% your best half. You need to put up the numbers to prove it. And I think especially going up against a team that has not only the chemistry, but also the experience as the guard. I mean, it's 2 teams filled with veterans. Oxy kind of being the only rookie, and he's proved himself in spades so far in this event. The guard are going to look to get aggressive here on the A side. And one of the key things is pushing dapr off of this control. I think that's what they're going to look for here in a second as Tex works out. No util from JonahP. They silent walk up into dapr. They want to try to give him the illusion. And look at this. Tex is ready to sit in this cage. They flash him off the angle, and that forces G2 to kind of lean down towards this B side where the guard are waiting with a lot of KJ util.
Oh, what that trip goes off, that might lead the B take to go down, but they actually readjust themselves back over towards mid.
And we're going to see here in a second JonahP go back towards ramp.
Oh
or does he play with the rest of his team? Wippie's going to be walking into 2
He's
players,
cautious.
and it's both Tex and Trent.
That's unfortunate. Big kill for Tex, but G2, they're kind of just taking this as a moth to the flame. They're rejoining 2 players over towards A to potentially make a B take, but they stopped their way midway through heaven.
They do break the util, or at least draw it out over towards B heaven, but it's a 4 versus 3. And look at the positioning between these 2 players on site. Net and valyn are playing together. It's not only util for them to work with, but in the backside, unless you nade it, and they don't, it's going to be hard to flush these guys out.
Okay, gonna have to be that double wide swing. They do have the second angle in terms of Oxy, in terms of ShahZaM. Ned still gets another kill. Did JonahP knife the boombot? Is what it is. Penny looking to plan before the snake bite, but he gets bitten. ShahZaM now in a 1v2, looking to pop off, looking to pop some heads, but it just won't happen. Trent, a big comeback into sight, a 3-0 for the guard. G2 just didn't have any answers.
Pressuring G2 early on is going to be a key thing here for the guard. The main thing that G2 are really, really good at, and I said it in the last series, they're so good at team fights and doing these contact plays. And the best way to counter that, in my opinion, is to put pressure on these choke points, especially on the A side where G2 love to make constant execs. We need to see the guard, I think, continue to apply pressure and just say to the guard, or punch to G2, hey, you want to do these team fights where we're willing to take the fight to you. Getting in their face is probably the best thing you can do here. This time around, they don't do it as heavily. There's still some contention here towards A, and look at the KJ setup as well.
This is a stark contrast from what we saw before against G2, right? dapr in the last game against Oxygen, he was never once comfortable on that A lurk.
Go get him.
To tack down to 23 HP. He's going to try and work this mid position. And he's mid, but it's all the way through ramp that he gets towards mid. He's going to get the heal up here as well. He has a rifle to work with. And he's one of the individuals on this G2 lineup that, you know, has to be a big player here, especially up against a team like the guard in the lower bracket finals in one of the big matches. It's one of the biggest matches Oxy has played in. Can you live up to the hype, and can you live up to that expectation that we set on him?
This could be a big round, Tex. He doesn't even have the grenade to try to deny Spike. They're really just trying to hold up the site with utility. There's nobody actually trying to go out.
Look for this
a 3-man pop.
Do they clear? Yes, they do.
That one position could have done everything, but the guard, they already have the options. It's only 1 rifle remaining, but hello, Penny. Able to take 2. Now just needs to go 1 by 1. 30 seconds remaining. Space to work with. And even a revive. Looking for the contact in heaven. But valyn, so sharp to take down Penny and then prioritize Oxy. A 4th for the guard. But again, we were looking at rifles. Not so much for G2.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I'm thinking from that round. As a G2, they were successful in getting ramp control. And I think if you're G2, you want to accelerate your pace and pick up the tempo when you're going for these execs, so you can kind of bring the fight to the guard instead, because what we're looking at is the guard putting pressure towards G2 and bringing the fight to them. But if you pick up your tempo, you can catch the guard unaware. So over towards the A site is where they're going to try it again. Look at the guard, though. 4 players towards mid. They're just putting Net in a position to play retake and try and delay with his util. It's a little bit faster here from G2. They're going to pick up the pace and take towards heaven, but that's where guard can rotate from. Or they could do a crazy 4-man flank here and just rely on net to maintain backside.
That might waste a lot of time considering the fact that they all have to walk. They could fake it and put off one of them, but they are all walking. They are all taking their time. Wippie is going to be here for the contact.
Yeah.
One of them has to hard clear, but he's in no way going to expect 2 of them, 3 of them. Maybe he saw all 4. He absolutely saw at least 2. That's some huge info, but now Tech's going out with the showstopper. Nobody peeking him. Dapr's gonna go down to the trade, but that's huge now for G2. Still trying to close down space. That was a good idea from ShahZaM, but now he leaves his 2 teammates on site alone in a 2v3. Oxy and Penny back to back to each other. Oxy! That is amazing! Out in the open, wanting all of the smoke!
And Oxy finds a way to bring it here for G2. Their first round comes in the form of the young gun and the guard. The play was crazy to look at with a 4-man flank, but Oxy cool under pressure, finding a double to the players trying to entry in. He is the X factor for this G2 lineup and will continue to be a menace on this serve if he can keep up that kind of play. But now you're looking at G2 with the first round win. How do they replicate that? Because you can't always bank on the fact that Oxy's going to do something crazy like that.
Don't get in my way.
Mid has been a big point of contention for G2 so far. See that being addressed with a Viper's Pit. But B, the KJ util has shifted from A to B, but it just won't matter. What kind of hold do they have? It's just the nano swarms. Yes, Net is able to get one, but Net is the only one here.
He's about to start fighting alone. Thankfully, he backs away. Allow him to play with the rest of his team. We've got Seekers still available. Cosmic Divide for this retake. So
I know he's here.
Not really in a spot where he has to fight, but he is being forced into the open. Oxy.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Net catching them all. 4 kills for Net. Looking for the ace. dapr just needs to waltz on away as G2 dwindle, run out of options on site. I mean, it seemed so open. They had the Sage Wall. Nobody was contesting them, but they fell into the trap of Net.
And he's forced to swing. When the spam from Oxy comes in, he knows he has to take that fight. And he wins it against Oxy, who looked the other way. You'll see it in the replay. I think Oxy wasn't completely sure where Net was playing and ultimately decided, hey, maybe he went towards defender spawn and that's when he gets swung on. But Net going massive in that round.
Placing swarm grenade.
And you can see G2 kind of stumbling, fumbling. They don't normally take B-side execs, but that round, they decided they had to. And now they're going to try it one more time here, Gus. Over towards the B side, but this time there are 3 players waiting. I think the guard are sensing that G2 are kind of worried from that map against Oxygen. They didn't have successful A takes, and now against the guard, they haven't had really the most successful ones outside of the one Oxy clutch.
In every single round, we've seen pretty much the exact same presence from the guard. Same Viper wall, same push up A ramp. No contact back in B main, but you already know for a fact that there's a whole lot of util. The KJ shifting over another round in. The guard staying proactive. G2 running out of chances. It's a sheets flawless as the guard from now on. They can just extend their lead going into the second half.
They'll have a lockdown here to work with as well. So retake possibilities galore. I think Net is probably going to play a solo anchor towards B with some support from valyn, where he kind of just tucks and runs over towards defender spawn to play this lockdown. We'll see what he wants to do. The G2 will switch it back over toward the A side. 2 players waiting with open arms. We know G2 have been consistently looking to take ramp with this dog guiding light and then a double or a run from Oxy who blast back to the site thereafter.
Scout destroyed.
But early on, Trailblazer broke and Oxy's going into this kind of blind.
He does utilize a guiding light, but again, the Viper wall gonna throw them all the way off. Okay, huge guiding light going right into the window. Tex needing to move, but even then, light util stops them from going up heaven.
Look at the difference here from G2. They're not committing to this A site. They've let the spike all the way towards sewers.
They're finally maintaining good positions.
Forced to fight. No, he backs away. I love that. Snakebite goes out to the lane. JonahP alone on the site. He's gonna really have to make something happen.
Peeks out a bit early. Oxy going down to 60, and Oxy finds him finally, slaps him down. The guard down to 3, but they still have a lockdown and a cosmic divide.
And there's heaven control here as well. You want to pop this here, Net? I don't think so.
Solo ramp from Trent?
A 3 versus 5. If Trent wins that fight, then I think you look at it and said, no, they're just going to go straight into it. That will force everybody into the back site, but there's no swarms, no snake bites that Trent can send out in these back cubbies.
Yep.
They pinged one corner, but it's not going to land. Penny's alone in the site right now, and he could be the one that goes down first.
Oh,
And
Penny just gets exposed. What a wide swing.
They just have to
Diffusing. Cosmic Divide. Trent holding it down.
It does it
Last
again
player
here.
standing.
The youngster that we know from last year comes back to life. A quick, easy triple spray down from him. And the guard are leading 7-1. Another devastating scoreline to G2 on this map.
Again, you said it. The lack of that ramp control, the lack of eyes on heaven.
Player standing.
Easy peasy spot for the lockdown there. There is no way G2 can deny it. Yes, there weren't any mollies for the back of sight. Penny, if he gets one there, maybe the round changes a bit. But G2, they're getting no space, no chances. 7-1, going into yet another eco round.
Roxy just gonna try and accelerate forward towards mid. Oh, this should be a free kill. Average just walking through his own cage. That's so reckless. I feel G2 are feeling that kind of pressure and making those careless mistakes. That's gonna cost you even more rounds here. They're gonna group back up in towards heaven. They get the information. B-main's no longer the word because it's an alarm bot, but valyn gunned down by wippie makes things a little bit easier.
Yep, one in the back of sight, and they know that the util is here. This is massive. The hero rifle from wippie going absolutely huge. Nobody's coming up from B though. Net, the only one to hold it down once again. When Net goes down, the revive's gonna come in, and Trent fights on his own, and he gets isolated by Oxy. What? This is the round that G2 wins?
We'll see if JonahP can keep it out of their hands, but G2, an acceleration towards mid. wippie with some massive shots. Well, right now, what we're seeing from G2 is a lot of reliance, Gus, on just individual ability.
That's to say the very least. I mean, you had dapr go up totally on his lonesome, but now these two rounds that we're seeing from G2 require that explosivity from Oxy.
Yeah.
wippie, the one rifle that they invested into this round, the one goes absolutely huge.
2 big kills from him. And now you're looking and hoping that G2 can keep up that individual ability. If that's what it takes to get across the line to at least 5 rounds here, the max they can get in this half. But how replicable, again, are these rounds? Because I'm looking at it one more time. These are rounds that are won by some big individual duels from these G2 players. And wippie, who, despite the loss on split against Oxygen just a couple hours ago, looked really, really solid. He had like 19 kills, 19-14, was one of the highlight players for G2 from that map. Has always been pretty solid in these series, no matter what the scoreline is. You can't rely on that individual ability. One player here on this A site, a 5-man hit again from G2.
It's gonna be easy. Surely, right? It's only one person in the middle of the site. Surely it's light. Surely. But it's Trent on the other side. He gets one, but it's so much damage being done. Penny can still heal, all good. The guard are very far away from sites. But G2, they aren't learning from their mistakes. They don't have any pressure in heaven.
There's nothing there. They're a little bit too late to the fight as well. There are already 3 players trying to clear. And look at the way the guard are going to work this. Boombot goes first. Flash ready for JonahP. But look at the crossfire. Multiple angles to swing from.
Yeah, they still have that wall back over in screens. They can hold a 3-man crossfire. And now they double swing out of the smoke. Deadly, deadly combo between the two. The 2-time slap up, and now Net in a 1v3. Looking for Penny. He already saw a pixel of him. Finally finds him. Nobody's on him right now. Net spots one, but that's the only one that he has to deal with. wippie is still over in heaven. Net has ran out of time as finally a huge fundamental round from G2.
The big round to win as well. Guard on the verge of a reset in these upcoming rounds. G2. A chance to bring us to 5. Despite how shaky this half started, it's wrapping up pretty nicely here. The execs are working towards A. Guard only putting 1 player there. Trent not able to hold his ground. I think maybe overcommitting to those swings, a little bit overconfident at times.
I mean, he was the only one that could have held on to things. He plays the off angle in the back of sight. He could potentially get
Hold up,
two.
look at this. He's dropping a Viper's Pit early on.
And he has Tex with him.
As well. ShahZaM in his back pocket, same thing with Oxy.
The cage gets triggered. Here comes Oxy looking to take down Trent. The red carpet has been placed, but the guards still have bodies here. Here comes Tex. Tex looking to clear. G2 can no longer execute on the Viper's Pit that they just lost. Wippie does take back the frag, but there's still 2 on A.
There's no space here for G2 as well to make this exit happen. It's a full re-clear. And JonahP in the smoke.
Ooh.
Goes for the swing, dry, and wins it. Now he can back up here, or he can commit the Trailblazer. Gets even more info. 8 seconds left till that next splash. And I think if you're G2, you have to commit. You simply have no info elsewhere on the map.
Oh, JonahP, you're sick for this. A couple of steps back towards sight. He takes an off angle. Oh, but ShahZaM, of course, still clearing.
Wins out the fight. He's going to get Seekers online here as well. They'll know there's only one player here, but valyn breaks them.
So much time.
Makes them no get break either of them. And now G2, it's an open A site here as the guard are forced to backpedal and play a retake now. They have a one-on-one. They have a 2-on-1. dapr, I think, is smart here to back away and honestly not even fight this.
Yeah, it's such a weird angle. No way you can expect this, but they should be clearing angles. dapr, if he stays there in elevator, though. Element of surprise is fully there, but this angle is even weirder.
High angle.
Ned would have to flick up, and dapr, he utilizes the element of surprise. All right. Just some damage, though, but valyn with a huge kill. Ned is down low. He's down so low right now. How does Ned win this round? Is there any way he can win this type of round out? And he knows it. 8 HP, and he walks away.
The economy just not there for the guard. So he's forcing himself to save. A Vandal for himself. Loss bonus is 4 rounds in a row. 3 rounds, actually, so it's going to be maxed out here for the guard. JonahP can buy. There is still a buy available here if you are a guard fan. So don't worry just yet, but G2, what a comeback in this first half. From 7-1 down to possibly 7-5. That's 4 plants in a row and 3 successful plants.
And G2, they keep finding success over on A. Don't see why not. They're going to keep harassing it. Just maintain pressure over in that area. Make the guard always react.
They're beginning to stack here now.
Exactly.
Flash is going to come out early here from JonahP. No flash. Trailblazer instead from ShahZaM. Looking at this space. They didn't clear. I don't think they cleared. No. JonahP still backs away regardless. Doesn't want anything to do with it. And all this pressure from G2 just to fade away back towards mid. Trying to switch up their look for this last round and catch the guard on their toes. Or off their toes, if you will. Look how quiet it is towards mid. You wouldn't expect anything. ShahZaM on the op.
Whoa. Random guiding light, but that's some great info. Contingency is still there for the guard. valyn has been over in heaven this entire time. He can stay hidden. He has a turret peeking for him, but rethinking A right now.
And an alarm bot here towards the B side. This is going to end up in a B split. Something to delay towards heaven. Util in front. And the thing is, there's no blast back here from Oxy to break the util, but they break it nonetheless. Alarm bot still yet to go. valyn fighting on site. The thing with this Cosmic Divide is it splits up the heaven players.
Net going in, and like I said, it splits them, so valyn can help out a lot, but he just can't. Ned still gets up another one, but G2, oh my goodness. Attack heaven, attack into spawn. Get everyone possible for the guard. Trent was the only one not here. He's the only one alive, 1v3.
And the refresh here from G2. Split was abysmal when they played Oxygen an hour ago, but here it looks refreshed and rejuvenated against a top team like the guard. Trent. Everyone knows this kid's name. Everyone knows what he can do. What can he do in this situation? One snake bite. Time is ticking. Crossfire is going to make things hard here. One. Not the second, though. As G2 wrap it up 7-5. This first half looked to be really, really shaky. But honestly, 5 successful plants in a row. And 4 of them going their way towards the end. It's not that bad from G2.
No, not at all. Again, G2 struggled to do exactly that in their game against Oxygen. Actually get in on site, actually get that plant down, or at least be able to play the objective for a little bit in the round. But still, we were looking at 7-1. The guard, just one situation goes awry there. Oxy doesn't have that showstopper. The Viper's Pit stops everyone on ramp. We're looking at about 10-2, 9-3. This is best case scenario here for G2.
The exits got a lot better, not to mention the post plans from G2. They pride themselves on winning their duels. They won a whole lot of them between Oxy and wippie. The guy that you look for in this series, the guy that we highlighted on the quote, dapr, someone that is the #2 overall, as a sentinel player in the mid-season face-off. We're still not seeing a lot of him. Now in the defense, you expect a lot more from this G2 side. This is the side that Oxy has struggled on in the past, but has looked a lot better on. And G2, especially on this map of split. Want a little bit more from them to close out this half as the guard begin to regroup back up for an A hit. They leave net as a solo lurk. And this wall goes down. It's the timing on this exit that honestly might catch G2 off guard.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, very rare you get this sort of contact, but everyone here for G2 on A still sticking around. In fact, it's a rotation from mid. 4 players around, and that guiding light, it stacks them up. 3 players in heaven, and they still come back for frags. Valyn going in, Penny going huge. Double for Penny, dapr coming in to help. For a second there, it seemed like the guard had the hang of things. But what a return to form for Penny and dapr. JonahP, okay, doesn't even care to look back, he's too cool. 1v3 for Jonah, going in with the 1v1 against dapr. Another contact from wippie, but the swing from Penny, a third from him already. A big start for G2. They could already be looking at a tie scoreline.
It just takes one more round. This is going to be their full buy as well here in a second as the guard. Letting now 5 rounds in a row slip through to G2. And they're going to go for a sheriff buy here. At least a lighter pistol buy. Oxy's picked up the shoddy already, man.
That goes there.
Let's see what he wants to get done with it. For the rest of this series, you look at the scoreboard. Trent, net at the very top. Players to watch out for. This guard team's a very cohesive unit. It's never one player standing out in the drastic measures of like G2 and maybe a team as well like M80 with they've got their own Qualanoob and Xander. This is a guard team that works as a unit.
I mean, on their
consistent top fragger, Gus.
I mean, on their team, they have one player who last year is considered one of the best fraggers in North America.
One of the best initiators in North America.
And, well, that's the thing. He's playing support. He's playing initiator. And he can frag the way that he does, Trent. Well, yet they still have the power of Tex, of course. Man who they rely on for their main duelist. Valyn, who has one of the highest headshot percentages in all of Valorant. It's a team that if you do, however, give them the battles that they want.
They will.
I don't know about against G2, who we've been saying, again, all 5 are great aimers.
It's a big fight between these two teams. And yeah, then talk about team fights. Literally 4 players swinging on every single one of them. And these 2 players on site, Gus,
30 seconds
they've only got
left.
pistols.
They only have pistols! Poor guys. Good luck, have fun. Here we go. Frenzies all over the place. Why? G2 just won a round.
And look at where Trent is as well. He's tucked up in towards elbow. Or not in elbow, but just on the cusp of it, and no one's checking. Dapr's not looking. Dapr
What?
Stays alive and wins.
Dapr's still alive. Okay, he finally goes down. Penny needing to go off to give his team a chance. But the guard might have just pulled themselves out of a risky hole. They were about to get tied.
A rabbit out of the hat, man. The guard. Where did this round come from? It's just team fights together. Like 4 players swinging every single time.
Spike down.
And always one person there to trade.
Guess that's all you need.
The cohesivity of the guard sometimes is astounding to watch and sometimes a little overwhelming for teams like G2.
Cohesion.
Full ride around here for the guard now. We're going to see how they want to play this. So we haven't seen them play split since, I think it was the Tarek Ludwig invitation where they played against Sentinels. So it's been a minute since we've seen these guys play and compete on split. That was literally when split got introduced into the map, or the map pool.
It's also the fact that not a lot of teams from their group exactly
Yeah.
split or
gods.
Lotus specialists, you know. They did face M80. Great on Lotus.
Bomb buddy
So
out.
TSM at times, but this is a guard that I feel have always had a very deep map pool, even when it was Saya instead of Tex. And you know, it's a small change. And Tex has had big shoes to fill in and live in expectations to live up to. I don't think he's necessarily surpassed them, but he's definitely, you know, been a key component of this guard lineup. As guard looking to kind of pop up this round. The Devil Tex.
There you go.
Over here towards back defender spawn. So it will be 9-6 here as a guard. Picking up a nice and easy round here as G2. They will have the rifles online, and we're starting to see ultimates slowly but surely come into the forefront these next couple of rounds. Tex only one off, or two off of his. JonahP one off of his Seekers. For G2, it mainly is, actually it is only really just the res getting close.
Just thinking about this defensive side again. First gun round. Coming out in the hands of G2. At least in terms of the manpower, at least in terms of
Tex
the
is looking to get
presence.
explosive already. Look at this blast.
I was going to
Tex
say,
goes
are
straight
they going to
in.
get explosive?
What does he want to do here? He's led by a guiding light to get control. Gravel here as well. He'll break this trip really early on, but if it weren't for Oxy, he might still be walking.
But again, I was about to question the patience of G2. They've always been a contact-like team. The over-aggression really only comes in their attack.
Oxy ready for the fight.
Bounces JonahP, able to take another down. Trent is still over and ramp. The rest of their teammates going out of B main. There might actually be a chance here. 1v1 against ShahZaM, and they have B main. They could have
Nobody
B.
here on the B side outside of wippie. Oxy's trying to make a fast rotate. Trent's still on this lurk, but they don't have smoke set up. And they're waiting. They're actually biding time here.
Placing alarm bot.
Setting smokes up, but that gives time for G2 to rotate.
Wippie in a good off angle, and they still have the second option in terms of Oxy. Makes the marathon happen, and now it's Trent and a 1v3.
Has to try and pull something.
Huge.
Dapr. Yeah, there's not a lot here for this guy that he can do. Trent swings to face, 30 seconds
30
left.
seconds
You
left.
could make something happen here, but it's just the positioning here for
He still has
G2.
orb.
I don't think this one is really possible. Yeah, he's got the orb to the cross, but he's gonna have to face regardless, and he just tries to risk it all with a jump down. G2, very nice shot from Moxie to slow the progression down from the guard over towards ramp.
That's all he could do at that point. It was only the Rays sitting up in heaven.
Satchel out.
There was a very good response, though. Astra utility, you still had the tripwire in front. You still had a camera ready in the back of heaven. But Oxy, all he could do is spray and try to run away, and he was able to get two out of that process.
It's at least a lockdown available. The guard, but G2 are setting up a very early wall. And I think it's to deny Tex the ult orb, or at least deny a couple of these players the ult orb, and I like that from G2. Lockdown still again. In the back pocket of net, they're not really working the A site. It is just Trent playing the solo lurk there instead. But look at the control right now that G2 have. Control towards B main. No, never mind. I lied because net just tore him apart.
2 rounds in a row, ShahZaM getting exposed, but that one, he had the full angle. That's just an insane shot from net. You mentioned the control of G2. G2 have only been passively looking over A this entire time. As they work of mid, the expectation is that the Seekers were to come out, and they finally do, but they're using it as an A exec.
Slows everything down here. But for some reason, net is still chilling over towards B heaven. He's dropped an alarm bot to try and cut these rotations off. And they've given up Psycho. Dapr getting a little bit of chip damage on it. What? And net is popping the ult alone. He's all by himself here. There's really no support. Trent will back him up finally. But that just makes the retake a little bit more difficult. Dapr finds Tex in the back corner. And there's still something here for G2 as they break the lockdown.
This is still an unknown angle for JonahP. Great spray from net. Double kill for him over in heaven. He continues to be the moth to the flame. Good stuff again. Just a one-man net. He did it earlier on in the first half. He does it now in the second, where you just put him in the right spot and he's able to frag.
And now G2 will have to concede the site. They know that this isn't a round they can really win, given the positions of the guard. And guard taking different avenues to get into the A site. A split in from mid. Is that the key here? As G2 continue to put a lot of focus on these A and B extremities. It's adjustment on adjustment, and the guard needs to keep that one up. I want to see what G2 exactly have in store for this kind of mid play, because they realize now that this is probably a weak point, and they don't really have util. They're not allocating util to stop the mid play. And it looks like they're going to put, Penny here towards mid, where he can drop that wall instead.
That's been sort of the expectation, though. That
All
you would have that
stages,
Sage
really.
player there, the real big adjustment. Hey, Oxy, what's up? Oxy wants to go big in mid.
What's he want to do here? He'll flash to set him up from ShahZaM. Instead, sends it towards A. Catches nothing, as Trent has been playing so far back towards A. And I don't like this. I really don't like this. Going towards B, and obviously the guard don't know, but there's a Raze, a Sage, and a Gravwell. That is a triple threat if you want to enter into this site. Tex is going to try and lead the way with a showstopper, but how far does he get into it?
Gravwell on a slow orb with a nade? Ah, that sounds scary, but that's what they need. Oh my goodness! Tex looking to blow things open. But that's the combo that I was worried about. Oxy, you absolute madman. Wippie looking to hold on to the back of sight. He's getting healed, but even then the shots ringing out through the wall.
Still Oxy with his showstopper though. And I think guard have realized that, bro, if we walk out of here, he's just gonna take us out with the showstopper.
That's all Sage is doing right now, playing
res
contact
here
for him.
Penny. Penny could definitely get the res online here in a second when they realize this isn't going to be a B hit. So they're playing a 5-on-4 retake. I want to see if dapr elects to stick on site or if he just wants to back away and give up control.
30 seconds
play
left.
the 5-on-4 because there's no ultimates here for the guard. And G2 will have the res, the man advantage, and a showstopper from Oxy to lead them through.
It's light utility, but they have recharged the second star.
Oh, and he has a cage. Dapr's got a cage to back up. He's so smart about this. No,
Okay.
he's stuck in the site until they jump. He can't retreat.
Great nano swarm,
10 seconds
amazing utility. But this leaves dapr. Dapr could be a hero a little bit here. He doesn't want to fight. Great patience from dapr. Maintains. Here's the reload. Swings into the astral form. And now dapr dwindles things down to a 3v5. Only one person in the back of sight. Two players over towards ramp. You do have the Cosmic Divide, however, out now for the guard. Trying to make things a little bit more difficult for G2. But even then, 5 players, 3 players, all swinging out. How do the guard get these frags? They're all swinging into coverage. JonahP with 3. And the guard pull it back.
And it's the last second that valyn gets the Cosmic Divide out. That is probably the most crucial piece of util in that entire retake attempt from G2. Because then dapr's on an island and he can't do anything. He can't fight. Instead, valyn getting this one out.
Remaining.
Oxy not using his showstopper to get into sight, but instead to evacuate ramp. And it doesn't net him a kill. Guard on 11 and possibly storming towards a 12th here. As G2 with the lesser guns.
Blinded.
Only just sheriffs. I believed in the G2 law of sheriffs mean a 60-40% chance to win. The 40% in their side. But guard are playing so patient. They know how deadly G2 can be on these eco rounds. They're not willing to give anything up.
Can't tell if this is not a turret contact for B main. This is just good stuff from the guard. Knowing that G2's economic situation is quite in flux. They're looking for creative stuff to do, to say the very least. But again, they were compensating for a B main rush from mid.
There's no util here. They're not going to be ready
Exactly.
for this. Players.
What
Back's
is going
turned.
on?
Back's turned. 2 sheriffs are on their way. And
No.
this is the crunch that's going to happen as well. It's going to happen. ShahZaM doesn't have a flash just yet.
Connect the
Big
dots!
setup 1. Where's the second? Where's another? Nade goes out here in a second to valyn. Just
3
trying to
on
swing,
site.
Just trying to straight, but they don't know about Penny.
They're dropping right in!
No, they don't. Penny with another, and he's got a rifle.
And now they push!
down.
G2 sandwiching the guard, choking them out. They still have Trent back in ramp. Spike control is fully taken up by G2. Net's
30
position
seconds
back
left.
over in mid. Could mean a sewer rush, but it's not gonna happen. 25 seconds left. 3 players back in spawn, all watching Spike. Penny going down to 20 HP, but Trent all the way out in the open. Does get one for his favor. Net running out of time, needs the Spike. dapr pulls out the cam. 13 seconds,
time?
12 seconds. Net, you
10
gotta
seconds
run.
left.
9 seconds, 8, 7. He does have time.
He gets the spike down, and look at the util in his pocket. Turret.
This is
and an
unreal.
alarm bot. He drops the turret first. It'll make the contact. But is dapr smart
Does he
about
swing
this?
with it?
No, he doesn't. He holds.
Target's
He holds.
destroyed.
And Net knows as well where he's got to be coming from.
This is just
One
so
chance,
dangerous for
55
dapr.
HP, 55 to swing with.
Ooh.
And he's going to try and take the first fight. Net with an opportunity, 21!
Oh!
And of course he's going to do it like that with an eBay clutch. It's guard on to 12, but how close was that from G2?
You come into that round with barely nothing. Sheriffs, it's the Wild West at that point. So G2, they make the guard feel the pressure.
And it gets close, extremely close. Heroics again from Net.
Here we go.
valyn was just chilling and spawning with the spikes, so there's no definitive site take just yet, but I think they're going to look to set Tex up to get in towards heaven. No gravel there this time, though, so I don't think he will get explosive. He likes to hold back. G2 looking for control towards A. A lack of players towards B, but what's the util they have to retake? No ults to work with.
They don't know about the wall mid.
They don't. And G2, this is a nice rotate through this mid side for them. Because right now, it
Zero
feels
info.
this is going to head towards B right now. With the contact and the pressure guard are applying towards A, but still the spike leans towards B. And I would be surprised if this ends towards A.
Again, very much still thinking about a pick. Seeing if anyone swings out wide. All of these positions for G2. Proactive in knowing that the guard shifting their way up ramp cannot be giving up any of these angles. Saw wippie pushing into the back of A, but you do see finally Spike being picked up back into B main.
Back through elevator to try and make a mid split happen. And this is going to be a big surprise. Because JonahP is just going to wait for these rotates. No, he's going to get caught out for sure. Yes, he does. Now it's up to the win here from Penny. Walks into the trip, but no. Stays alive, but there's no one to receive.
left.
Now the rotates come through.
dapr.
dapr down below.
Oh, that Cosmic Divide could actually go so massive here. dapr could just wait. They walk through, waiting. dapr, no, that's unreal. Finally gets Tex, can go for another one. dapr going wild, 2 more on site. Trying to find another one through the Cosmic Divide, 4 bullets remaining, but he has so many teammates with him. The guard scrambling to get the spike down, but with
There's
8
no
seconds
plan.
left, they just cannot cross. The one Cosmic Divide, and the legend known as dapr takes on an 8th for G2.
Just dancing through the Cosmic Divide. dapr yields with 2 players on the guard. Just by just swinging through back and forth. I was so confused with the point of view. I was like, who are we watching? dapr will keep the guard off the map win. For the time being, more to be done here as G2 holding on to this round. And it was just a battle of util and information towards A, right? Like, it felt for the longest time, G2 were just sending util back and forth with the guard over on A. And it ends with a G2 win and a guard timeout called. Because there's been no definitive answer to G2's defense, and that was the same thing that Oxygen faced. G2 put up a really solid defensive half between all these players. But still, 4 rounds to go, and 4 perfect rounds they have to win out.
The more important thing is, again, the guard, they've been switching up their pacing in so many of these rounds. And G2, they seem to have an answer. Even though they're not winning, do seem to have an answer for most of the approaches that the guard have had. Always some sort of presence back over towards A heaven. You already know for a fact that wippie has that Astra util in A main always. The guard, they've tried so many aggressive plays, but also that slow play in the last round.
This goes here.
All leads to naught as they come down to like 2 or 3 players when they actually make it sight.
There's a lockdown in the Viper's pit in this upcoming round. Net in no spot to utilize his lockdown. But an orb, a one-way orb, this is something.
Sick lineup.
This is crazy.
Is that a
Doesn't see anything. Trent. Unless he accidented. That's some type of Viper orb I would throw, but it looks way too specific. It's G2. 2 players here on the A site. They're playing the retake here, it looks like, as Oxy not looking to face, playing off the trap wires instead. He could easily get a kill here. The setups that dapr have been deadly to this guard. They break the cam. Pulling some info away here from G2. And Oxy plays in the middle of sight. He's going to dance around these trap wires, but here come the guard, shifting back again to the B site. But valyn, what is going on here? He's dropped 2 stars in the middle of mid. And this is getting a little bit unpredictable. Tex against dapr here. This is the
dapr!
fight.
Dapr's pushing! The over-aggression from dapr. Bites him in the back. Here comes 2-3 players out of ramp. ShahZaM just like that, taking away 2, giving his team the advantage, and yet another one. 3v2 now for G2.
Where's the play, though? You still have this lockdown, and Net's going to take it towards B Heaven. Penny doesn't want anything of it. He instead backs away from the stairs. Where's the lockdown?
He's going to have the cross.
Seconds left. They're going to try and get into sight here. Penny watching, as you said, waiting for this drop.
Finally, here's valyn. He can just walk in.
Just spam it.
Whoa, the gravity well drags him, and valyn still wasn't able to get the frag.
And lockdown still available for Net. Both players back towards spawn, and when does Net want to pop it? He could pop it right here if he wanted to. Clears heaven and sees nothing.
They're going out alone. valyn is gonna have to take on this cross. And he has him. 1v2 for Net, and he strikes on the first. Out in the open now is Net, and Penny takes him back. The game keeps going.
Just swings out so far wide, and I was wondering if Net was gonna use this lockdown. Maybe a misplay, but who knows? The pressure gets to him and he just wants to fight. 12-9, G2 stay alive, and there's not a lot of money here for the guard to make a buy happen. What can they muster up? It's gonna be Net with a hero rifle, it looks like. As the rest of the team, I think maybe outside of valyn, have to go to just pistols.
It's just gonna be the anchor with a rifle, but the guard in general, thinking about something spicy to do in this round. They're actually utilizing the Viper as a lurk.
This is
all the way over towards A.
Guard, all the way towards B. Showstopper protects guaranteed to the next. 4 ultimates guaranteed moving forward from this round. Guard want to try and end it here. Lockdown to set them up if they want it. They don't. Wippie's here alone. No util outside of this.
You're in the
round.
jump peak.
Will to win the fight. No, he doesn't. They slow it down. Warp gets picked up here by valyn. They're looking to charge up every single ultimate moving forward. And they win that orb engagement.
So not only do they have the pre-plant option, but the post-plant option. 2 massive win conditions for the guard. Nobody knows that they're heading over towards this A side. But they've seen this Viper wall this entire time. They know. And again, this option could always be there. The shift back to A could always be there. The info isn't going to get anything.
Yeah, and that might cause the guard, or apologies, G2, to think that this is going towards B. And yeah, look at that, the mailroom. Trailblazer gets picked up as well. Both players playing towards screens.
Huge.
On the cam at the wrong time.
Oh, the swing! The swing!
It costs him his life, whereas a little bit more. Net's now got the ultimate. There's a Viper spin here online as well. This is the guard on site with so much util.
They still have a lockdown. They still have the Viper's pit. Surely, right? Surely lockdown going in to delay this take even more. But a Viper's pit actually going down. Does it cover the spike? Might just be right outside. This is a bit awkward. Net still has a little bit of utility too. He might be able to cover a spike.
They're playing together. Cosmic Divide makes this even more difficult here. And JonahP, do they know where he's coming from? He may just have a classic, but his flash could be everything. Net trying to fight. Net looking to swing.
Big kill from Nad, but you still have Penny with a revive, making it a 4v4. 3 players sitting in the middle of smoke, but they know JonahP has always been over towards A, over towards spawn. Whip the guiding light. Here comes Wippie. Wippie with a double, but you still have Trent. Trent goes down. Defuse going in, but it's planted for Jonah. Planted for Jonah. He can't do it. Defuse is going to go in. Double digits for G2. We go again.
And with 0.85 seconds, how many ults got invested into that round? 2 major ones between Net and Trent, and it's not going to be enough.
Insane.
Net almost on a 30 bomb trying to close out this first map. And yes, they will have a bye, but it's coming down to the wire with G2. 3 wins in a row. 2 successful retakes, and with a Viper's pit in their face, I think that was just the gun differential between the guard and G2.
Placing swarm grenade.
Tex will have the showstopper to make an entry happen. But the guard picking up the pace towards mid here. The response, Penny drops the wall.
Gonna take a minute. For them to actually be able to make their way up heaven, they need a whole lot of util. Just because of that one wall. Guard. They already keep their expectations a bit tempered. That guiding light.
This is different from G2. The hold is instead towards B. And what I mean by that is Penny's not playing in heaven. There's no heaven presence. So they're expecting maybe a B hit here. Really nice set. Oh, never mind. The Seeker's kind of blue. We kind of revealed. And they don't know if it's an A hit because all 5 Seekers go in one direction.
Exactly.
So they're not going to know here. ShahZaM gets the info. There's at least a couple of players here. They're backed up on the site. And look at G2. Look at the trap wires. And I wonder if there's a cage here. No. The smoke is going to give ShahZaM an opportunity to capitalize on these trap wires.
Here comes Tex. Tex going in. Aiming for a big showstopper, but dapr just has him out in the open. But again, that's just a moth to the flame. The guard all going towards B. Wippie in the back of sight. You have one on drop, and he's gonna have to go big. Wippie does get the big kill, but Penny has it. The guard are now down to 2. One coming from heaven, one coming from below. G2 almost flawless to pick up an 11th. Economy has dwindled all the way down for the guard. They're gonna have a scrappy buy.
And what's it gonna look like here? Valyn's the only one that can really get a rifle, and I think you pass it over to someone like Net. One more chance here for the guard to close out this map. But what a map from G2. A heroic effort from this team. Not a single individual has carried this team across the line. It's a combination of all of them. This buy from the guard, what's the play, what's the call? It's an A hit. The first time we're not seeing really any lurk over towards B.
Ooh. Guiding light misses. But G2, look at this coverage. They have the Cypher trips, the Cypher util, and still 3 more players in heaven to try to cover.
So many players here. It's with both G2 and the guard, but G2 having 4 players here.
Stars in mid.
If you're guard, you kind of have to back away. The wall up, though, will give Penny time to adjust and swing back over towards Mero where he can drop a slow orb, not really get pressured out too much from the guard.
They actually do burst open, but they still have that option back over towards A. Of course, the spike is still waiting. The guard, all they want to do is drag some attention back from G2 back into mid. And they're doing it. It's working.
dapr setup that has been so difficult to deal with.
Get him.
dapr and ShahZaM together, both have been playing exceptionally well on this A side.
No satchels.
Now the exit comes through. No entry just yet. Trap gets broken, but there's dapr! Of course there's dapr! 3 for the man! And now just a little bit more to push them to overtime. He doesn't fight, he just jiggles.
valyn, the last one remaining, all the way out in the open. And Oxy stops them all. We are going to overtime. G2, what a comeback to push it.
And there's still more to play. Of course there's still more to play. G2, whatever happened against Oxygen just does not happen here. A much more confident, cohesive team here on Split. And with 5 rounds in a row, Gus, all the momentum is on their side.
This comeback was cooking earlier. 6 rounds in a row to try to push it to overtime from G2. They got stopped at a 13-9. This time, they're able to have a good enough first half to keep things level. Let's get to it. G2 aiming for A.
5 players, all 5. And where's the guard's response? This was the side that both teams struggled on. 5 in a row from G2 to push us to OT. Apologies to the guard, they have to be feeling good. Swinging back here towards A. 3 players already rotated here.
It's going to be nice, too, where the snake bites are going to be able to delay. He has a grab will in front of him, ready to go.
It's a walk-up here from G2. A contact play as Trent. He might get his head taken off here if he's not smart. If he's not careful, they didn't look, they didn't see.
Does he get anything from that text? Knows that there's one in heaven. Flips back to Oxy. And the contact is just there. Trent is just playing now with dapr, utilizing a snake bite, and takes him down. 2 more players remaining here for G2. This is one of the most tragic attack rounds that we've seen from G2 so far.
It really just didn't work out. They tried to contact in, and Trent. There's one. Where's the second? Oh, not there. Penny. Listen, okay. Here's the formula. Get 2 kills, get a res. Get a kill, get a plant. There's no bodies to res, but that's
30
fine. You'll
seconds
still have
left.
the ultimate regardless. And yeah, 25 seconds left. He has to spike, but where is he gonna go with it? It's now, yeah, now he's got no chance to play for the res here, so it's all on him in this 1v4. He has the wall that puts him out of the fight.
Oh!
By any means, he wins that one. So there's an opportunity
10
here
seconds
for
left.
Penny. He's been inconsistent throughout this entire split, but he's had his moments, and maybe this is one of them, but I honestly can't see him winning this.
He used to be an all-star. Penny, oh my goodness. 3 HP remaining. Oh my god!
Jesus, good lord. No, there's still. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
Very
The
nearly
guard
makes
won
it
the
happen.
round, as expected.
Very nearly makes it happen, though. With 4 kills, almost has an ace clutch.
Jesus.
Switching
The guard
sides.
now, 13 to
Match
12.
point.
On map points. We'll be looking to close out on the attack. The side that really they did struggle on. Both teams struggled on their attack. And this is a matter of who can win their attacking side first.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
The guard, what's the play? It's nothing fast, it's nothing flashy. It's always been traditionally slow.
Almost always, but again, we don't know, truthfully, what they have in their bag.
Placing swarm
It's a map of split where, again, they haven't played it since last year in pro play. But again, no surprises right now. It's just going to be that same Viper contact over in A. G2 giving them mid currently, but the guard aren't looking to bite on anything right now. G2, more importantly, look how far back they're playing.
Wait. Look at this wall. Look at the access it gives the guard now towards mid. They're looking to take a split in towards A from mid and towards ramp. And it's only just dapr there. Him and Oxy together. Side by side. Oh, never mind, because one goes down to the side. And it leaves the guard in a 4-on-5. A lot of opportunities now into this A site. They're just cutting noise, trying to see what rotates they can manipulate.
But the players in mid aren't tracking it either.
Nothing at all.
I thought maybe that position over in mid could lead to some audio cues. Indeed it will. Net maintains it. Facing the 1v1 against ShahZaM. ShahZaM does win it out, but again, A is still for the taking. Trips haven't been taken on yet. There's still util in heaven. There's still a bit of a
30
chance
seconds
to
left.
get a bit of a trap, but it hasn't happened. dapr waiting for his opportunity through the smoke. ShahZaM barely getting a kill there, but that's just what they need. Just the chip damage on the guard.
Some kind of timing, he pops up. JonahP up in a fight for his life, up with the fight of his life, and he gets gunned down. No chance there as Tex and valyn last alive.
How do they win this one? valyn, no util with him. Only one satchel on Tex. valyn has to do it all. The leader goes down. G2 picks up another
Pushes
round.
us.
At least one here on OT, but oh my goodness.
Second overtime, man, from G2. The guard,
Switching sides. Overtime.
13 to 13. We push ourselves another one. And it's who wins the attacking side. That's kind of the key thing here.
Look at that.
And this time around, it's not the guard. Despite having the man advantage, G2 adjusts. They don't over-rotate. They don't overreact to this kind of play. And they work again as a cohesive unit to make the retake happen.
The guard, all 5 here on the A side. No larkers. Nothing stopping them elsewhere. Just gonna go right in with the Trailblazer. Cage already in front of him. JonahP needing to back up, but the guiding light's not gonna hit Oxy. What you need is the kill on Oxy. There's a player inching out of the smoke. They could be able to find him. JonahP still scrambling, still finding a kill. Huge kill for JonahP as the guard are down to 3.
And now G2 getting onto the site. Is this the attacking round they were looking for? Spike goes down. Wall's gonna be broken here. And they can get back into the site quickly. 3 versus 4.
G2.
Guard on the defensive side, looking to make the retake happen. Up close is Penny.
He had the right gun for it, but the Phantom doesn't work out.
Oh,
The
the
trade
right
comes in.
standing.
The guard are clawing it back. valyn still is the last one remaining, however. Has a smoke to use. The Gravwell should push him back. valyn trying to play the tug of
a
war.
wrap,
Nobody
elbow.
on the outskirts of the smoke. He's thinking about swinging
One
out.
enemy
They need to
remaining.
swing him. There goes the kill from valyn. The spray He doesn't have another smoke, and it dissipates immediately. valyn does get another star. Does he have time? Doesn't matter. wippie takes him down. Attacking round under the belts of G2.
And they get 14 to 13. Match point here on split.
Oh my.
And that was a contingency. Who could win their attacking round? And G2 have done it.
This is G2 we're talking about. Number 3 seed going into this tournament. But they had just lost to what is the 10th seed right before playoffs started. G2 looking to reprove themselves here in playoffs. The guard. Not the best look.
It's G2. They're gonna have to deal with a pretty heavy B look here. A different time. Or a different look from the guard. The B site weakened here as well. The wall is going to give at least the opportunity for Penny to support now the B site player, that being wippie. No one on the guard is putting pressure. There's no fast play. There's no fast look. If they can pick off wippie, they might get themselves going. But wippie takes the contact and backs away. And so do the guard as well.
Whoa.
Hustling back towards mid, where they're going to try. And I don't even know what the look is from the guard now. It's hard to just pick because not a lot of map control outside of this B main play.
At least they maintained the positions they had at the beginning of the round. They were thinking about the rotation back into spawn. They keep heaven. But this wall, it's going to silently break. These players can just walk up now.
And it's Oxy. Oxy in towards Vents. He's the first to react here if it's not going to be Penny. Penny and wippie. This duo on the site has been good, but can they do it again here? There's a little bit of reinforcement from ShahZaM, who can't send a flash.
Any readjustment, further drop!
It had to be.
There's wippie!
One enemy remaining.
They get them all! G2 pull a map from under their guard!
And they do it in the closest fashion possible. 15 to 13. Whatever that first map that we saw split against Oxygen just wasn't here. G2, a cohesive unit, a team of fragging players who all played together and pushed us 15 to 13. They take map number 1 here in this series.
I just can't believe the way that they did it. Such a strong comeback in the middle there from G2. But again, the guard, for their very first look here on this map, they didn't look all too bad. But near the end of that second half, especially the very last round, where they could have had just a little bit more utility to actually make their way out in sight, it just looked like it was just another part of the round or another part of the game where they just walk out and give G2 OT. The guard kind of lost out a little bit by the end of that game.
And it matters how you finish, not how you start. The guard leading 7-1, by the way, in the first half. And G2 clawing all the way back 4 rounds in a row from 12 to 8. Well, they've taken map number 1, but still, map number 2 is around the corner. We'll be right back after the break with the analyst desk.
Sky's out. One enemy remain out. Destroyed. One enemy remains. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Sky's out. Opponent. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. Last player standing.
What map would you pick to live on forever if you're transported into the game?
Oh my god, that's a great question. What map would I want to live on? Probably Breeze. You know, it's kind of like the beach. It's nice. It's got some, you know, shops and stuff like that. Like, I like that vibe.
If I was to be transported in the game, I think I'd definitely pick Breeze just because it's like a nice tropical island. There's a lot of stuff too. There's literally like a shop in there. So like if I want food, I can grab it there.
Since I'm from Hawaii, as I'm sure a lot know by now, I'd probably pick Breeze since that's like close to home and probably just chill on the beach like all day. I would probably live on Split, I would say. Yeah. Looks like they have good food there. A couple shops, you know.
Breeze. I'm chilling on the beach for sure, whole time. Chilling in the castle on the hill. Chilling on the beach. Breeze, easy.
100% Breeze. Just the beach and just survive. Having the ocean like right there and survive 100%.
Definitely not Fracture. I'm thinking Lotus, bro. Lotus seems kind of like a nice place to live. Or Breeze. You know, like on an island or something. No, this is not bad.
If I had to pick a map to live on from Valorant, I mean, I live in Quebec, so I can probably live in the Icebox, but it's probably not the most fun. Let me think. Lotus seems pretty fun now. Probably Lotus, that's good. A little bit of sand, a bit of trees and stuff, I like that.
I would pick Pearl because, you know, you got like, there's like music, there's like a restaurant, there's, you know, I think there's a lot there. There's like a Coliseum, stuff like that. Breeze. I don't know if that counts, but it's on the map pool, but I think I'd pick Breeze. We have like a team house. My old Sentinels team house was like way up there in the Bahamas, so I have that land, I own it, I have the deed. So I kicked everybody else out that's on the team now, and I live up there. If I could live on any Valorant map, it would probably be Split, because there's vents there, and I like vents.
Okay.
All right, it took a hot second going into this, but ultimately, in the end, on their map pick, G2 are going to take our first map here in overtime up against the Guard. I was a little worried at first, Tanner, when we got to see the fact it was going to be the Split run back, considering how this went down earlier in the day for G2, but hey, a little bit of redemption has to feel good, right?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. I think it became a little less uneasy once G2 started getting it figured out towards the end of the first half. A little scary that their first round comes in way of Oxy having to do super clutch things. Penny obviously having a good game as well. But yeah, I definitely think a big question was how much tank is left. How much tank is left in the gas? Oh man, I guess
Yeah.
I'm not even playing it. I guess it's been a long game.
Yeah.
How much gas is left in the tank? And G2 showed just enough to be able to claw their way back into this one and cross the finish line.
Yeah, they're gonna have to dig deep because they need a little bit more tank in their gas. No, I'm just kidding. The job's not done. But being able to take this first maps definitely has to feel good for them in this situation.
Yeah, what are gonna eye, Tanner? You know, I look at dapr, and you know, we talked about it. dapr felt like his last series was largely underwhelming. He does get a little bit better here today. 21 and 19, 223 ACS. It's not too shabby for the Cypher main, but what's more impressive is the 5 first bloods. Something we actually didn't highlight when we talked about him at the top of the show. Sitting very high on that chart when it comes to Sentinel mains with the first bloods. It's pretty impressive as well, but it's hard not to highlight the performance coming in from Ned as well. The counterpart to his Cypher. 30 and 18, 309 ACS, 5 first bloods. Did pretty much everything they possibly could to try to claw the series away from G2, or at least keep them from taking it. Unfortunately, they land a little bit short. And honestly, man, I kind of feel like Guard lost this. Like, I don't want to discredit what G2 did, but Guard had the game, like, right there. All they had to do was just find, like, a few more rounds, close out the game, and they'd be moving into map 2 with an advantage, but they just fumbled the bag, like, right at the tail end. And it feels like they just kind of ran out of ideas, and we were talking about it. What made G2 good at this map, and they actually said it in the post-match interview yesterday, and it was something we didn't see from them in the earlier series, was their mid-rounding and their adjustments, their reads, and how they adapt. And that was what was working at least a little bit for the Guard. And then all of a sudden they were just like, A hit, B hit, A hit. It was like very static. All 5 players coming out the same side. And it was very much like they had just run out of ideas. A little bit of mental exhaustion potentially. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it was disappointing to see the Guard land a little bit short. But it's also exciting to see G2 end up clawing back the comeback.
Well, and it was also in that, you know, hitting A, hitting B, we did see glimpses of should be brilliance where they're trying to sell fakes. They're hard slamming out through mid, threatening pressure up into B heaven. But all of that gets erased when you look back to, again, the game that Penny had and the game that dapr had, where on defense, at the very least, it was so hard to get through sites. If dapr was still alive, he was usually finding 3. ShahZaM would then be there to help, and then out towards the B site. I think it was round 20 where dapr is bouncing back and forth. He finds a kill. The Cosmic Divide goes up. He ults a body. He's still dancing around. Like, it's just insane. This was one of those games where it was really hard to find a crack and breakthrough for the guard.
And ultimately, too, kudos to G2 for the 5 in a row and making sure that the guard couldn't be closing out and stealing their map pick off of them, because it's definitely been a long day for them. The marathon's not over yet. We'll have to see if we can continue that moving on forward. We talked about the map pool. This wasn't necessarily a surprising map pool. It was just the order that we're going to see it in. And the guard picking up Haven for our map 2, Bach.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that guard has felt pretty comfortable on. We have seen G2 have decent results. I wouldn't classify this as a very strong map for G2. While they've found wins, their most recent adventure on the map really felt like Oxy basically dragged them across the finish line a little bit harder than he should have to. He definitely stepped up big for the team and filled in a lot of gaps. So anytime a mistake was made, he was there to pick up the pieces and again, find them the win. So there is a chance that the guard can end up taking this to a map 3. It's a pretty strong chance at that. It was looking like, though, it was going to be a 2-0 after that first map going the way that it did. There is the question of whether or not G2 will have the staying power in the series to take guard as deep on maps 2 and 3 as they did just there on map 1, because Split is comfortable territory, and while Haven and Ascent aren't unfamiliar, it's just a matter of, are they as good as the guard is going to be on those maps?
I do want to mention, though, that the guard haven't looked the best. You know, we talked about coming up into midseason faceoff. Wow, the guard really haven't had to show any maps. And I was an actual believer that they don't have to show those maps. And if they don't have to, they're not going to, but they will be strong. And then we finally see Oxy, they get Haven out of them. Or Oxygen, excuse me, they get Haven out of them. And then they beat the guard and push the guard to a map 3. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe Haven wasn't as strong for them. Then they play M80. Things get a little weird on M80, on Haven against M80, and the guard lose that one as well. So it doesn't feel great for the guard here in Haven to make their way to this map after losing a very heartbreaking map number 1. But I will say that, again, much like we said about G2 in the last series, where they've got these veterans, this team, this core, which is now just a core 5, I would say, Tech's being, you know, well slotted in. I don't think they're going to let that get to them, right? I do think that they are going to find a way. That's just the guard way.
Also, in defense to the guard, I mean, when you're talking about Oxygen Esports, that's Haven is just like a type of map for them. It was one they took off of G2 as well. G2, I wonder about their Haven, because what I've seen, I haven't necessarily, like, they've been able to take wins on it. I am not necessarily confident in, when you've been playing all day, how their Haven will look. But people that the guard and G2 have gone up respectively on Haven have definitely been people who are very strong and Haven connoisseurs, you might say.
Yeah, you know, you're looking at the teams that they've beaten, looking specifically at G2. They played FaZe Clan, they beat them 13-8. But if you watch that game, it wasn't like the cleanest Haven you've ever seen. That was the game where we're talking about Oxy really stepping to the plate and basically doing everything possible to keep his team from losing in a series that they were expected to come into as heavy favorites and just crush their opposition. They also have like a group stage loss against teams that they shouldn't have lost to. They've lost this to Oxygen and Turtle Troop, which on paper at the time didn't feel like maps they should lose. Now, Oxygen, we've come to know, is a team that is very competent on Haven, a very strong team in their own right as well. But Turtle Troop is definitely not the type of team you would expect to beat G2 on this map. And then you look at guard and yeah, sure, sample size is pretty small in challengers. They've only really played it twice. They lost it and they had a close game against M80 of 13-11. But you have to watch back the way the game played. There was definitely a very strong attacking side half coming out from the guard. If I remember correctly, they put up 8 rounds on the attacking side. It's very similar to what just happened basically on Split. They need to just get to the finish line. They get real close. And then it's like that video of the marathon runner like stumbling around at the end of the finish line, just losing all muscle control. Like they need to just find the energy to get past those last few feet to carry it over for the dub.
And I know last series we asked Oxygen to take some risks with their map pool. I'm wondering if we see those risks taken here against G2. They had a comp once we got into this with the double duelist. and then they went away from it, maybe put Penny on something he might not be as comfortable on. But I think in these dire straits where you want to close this out, you would hate to have a map 3 after the last couple of days that you've had for G2. Maybe they do go back to allowing Penny to spread his wings, put him on a duelist alongside Oxy.
Neon, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm a big fan of Neon on this map. I think that it could work well.
I honestly, also a Neon fan, and with elimination on the line, it would be really cool to see a Neon as teams are trying to get into the grand finals. I don't know if it'll happen, but the agent select is here with their casters, so sauce it over and see.
Guys, it's been a long day. It's been a long 2 days. We're up till 1 a.m. casting, and I feel like we're going to be in the long run one more time. G2, 15-13 was split. Now on Haven, Gus. I'm feeling like we could go to a map 3 here. I'm excited to see what G2 have, and I think I'm kind of in agreement with Bach. The way that they played against FaZe on this map was a lot of, Oxy. Like, there's no question about it, dude. You could make a whole highlight montage that's 10 minutes long of just the dude with his blade storm. Like, that's how good he was on that map. And so it's worrying for G2. We said that about Split too. I say that again here about Haven just because of how heavy they relied on Oxy. But who knows, man? Sometimes G2, all they need is that individual ability coming out from one of them.
Again, I think that's the evolving play style of G2 on this map because they've changed this composition so many times. The desk mentioned it. We've gone into playoffs with a double duelist comp, and they've changed entirely. Now they're for the last two games, they've switched from Sky to Sova, and again, roles keep being swapped at that. G2 just can't seem to find footing on this map. But let's see what happens with the comps. Maybe they do have something different. It's been what, 2 days since the last game?
Yeah, it's been a little bit since G2 have played with a double duelist, and I would hate to think that we're going to go back to it. Yeah, the Omen, KJ, and Jet all seem to be making sense. Now, for the side of the guard, it could be a whole different story, but it's not. The only time they pulled out this Haven was very similar to Split, is they've only pulled out during the midseason face-off. So this is one of the first times that we are seeing the guard play. It's the third time, and they've only played it twice in the midseason face-off. So it's a pocket pick, it felt for them. Maybe something they kept safe during Split 1. Again, they're coming off of 2 losses, 2 very close losses to Oxygen and M80. So they're not a horrible team on this map, given despite their record, they're a team that can be formidable on it. But now they're coming off of 2 losses. What do you learn from those losses, and how are you going to change it here against G2?
The good thing is that, again, the guard, when they did falter, it was on their defensive side, so at least they start on the attack. At least they could start off on the right foot. G2, however, we're looking at a team that has only had hills and valleys throughout this entire season on this map.
And there's a stun already from Penny trying to funnel these players back towards mid-window, where it looks like Oxy and Wippie are going to try to get aggressive in. And even a fight from dapr towards Garage is an early aggressive look here from G2. They don't push out. Instead, they just get mid-control. But this turret here from the guard is going to be massive. It gives a lot of mid-control. They know no one's pushed down towards mid. No one's walked out of Garage. And so they don't really have to worry about this area just yet.
Well, maybe it's a false sense of confidence, too. Look how many players there are. The lack of contacts that there are in mid. ShahZaM just walks up on his own into A ramp, and nobody is able to take him down. But again, over towards C. They did have a turret here for the contact. It got tapped, but nobody's here on C to actually cover.
And Dax has just walked all the way up. And dapr is completely oblivious to this possibility. And that's where the rest of the guard begin to rotate.
Surely they feel it.
They didn't catch dapr. I think he doesn't know just yet. And dapr might get the head spin. Yes, he does, and he gets the kill.
That's huge, but there's another one still somehow in mid. JonahP looking to go away. C finally getting planted on. But look at this. Over in snipers. Good push from Wippie. Neutralizing the threat, the lurker very early on. No more time being wasted for this team making the retake. G2 only have 2 more players to deal with. Both of them are in the middle of sight. Barely any utility to use here. They're all the way on the open. Penny takes down Tex. Trent is the last one to go. G2 on the right foot.
The team fight works out extremely well. They hold on to Wippie's paranoia, which gets them access to that side. And G2 establishing a lot of early control towards A main. Felt like maybe they were just playing a retake from the get-go over here towards C, and it works out very well in their favor to play that retake as a unit. That's the first round on the board, and G2 off to a strong, strong start.
Thankfully. Guard were cooking. A whole
Net
lot back over
specifically.
towards C. But that call from G2, that early round call for a 3-man, 4-man push. ShahZaM, don't exactly know him to be that creative, but his mid-rounding has been praised a whole lot going into this tournament. It's good to see G2 pulling something wild out of their sleeve.
From that last map, I look at that and think the guard left a lot of open gaps, and in the mid rounds, that's where ShahZaM shines, right? As you were just saying, the gaps that the guard had in their offense, ShahZaM picks up very quickly. And so, despite, you know, efforts from Net, who, by the way, played extremely well in that last one, 30 kills.
You gotta be fucked.
Before we even got to overtime.
30 kills, but still.
Trent on 25 as well. So it was two
Exactly.
bolstered performances between those guard players, but still not enough to win out that map. So they come into this next map still with the, I think, heat that Net and Trent carry over from the last. But now it's about, hey, once we get to that position, we just got to close it out.
Oh, what a slap down from Oxy. That flick is nasty. Still 2 more players to deal with, and might just be ShahZaM with the double. Penny's there to deal with him. So there you go. G2 at least keeping the economy clean. Going into the next, we could finally see that attack side of the guard. Again, did not see the guard play on this map go into playoffs.
Oxy's going to have the operator here. He doesn't pick this up too often, but Haven is probably the one map where we have seen him pick it up, and the multiple times they've played against Oxygen Turtle Troop. He's not the best defensive player. I think Haven is kind of where that issue truly shines, and that's surprising because of how good this map is for Oppers. And Oxy, he's going to pick it up here towards Sewers, where he could get a real big chance to get some kills. The stun forces him off the angle. Maybe G2 not anticipating the punish from the guard.
ShahZaM, he picks up the same exact position. Surely they try to clear this, right?
I think that you have to, right? Because there's just so much time passed over.
Yeah, now there has.
And now everyone's rotated here from G2, and this lurk from Net again. Yeah, the timing of that unfortunate nanostorm gives Net an opportunity to slip through. This is a C site given up. And a lurk here again towards C is what gives them an opportunity to get the spike down. G2 playing on a 4-on-4 retake. They do have rifles here. They are at a man disadvantage, which makes things a little bit more difficult. There's some utility to get the retake going, that being the dart and the flashes between Wippie and Penny.
But this off angle is just another opportunity to make that man advantage go higher. The guard now up to a 5v3.
G2 saving. Not a lot of options to get this retake going, so I think it's smart to pick up the op. You can pass that on to Oxy and look at dapr's money. He's going to be able to buy moving forward. This was the bonus again from G2, so walking away with these 3 rifles, you're going to be fine moving into next with another buy. But I wonder what the theme is going to be for this attacking side of the guard. Eventually on split, things kind of stagnated with these execs, and the guard felt a little uninspired in the mid-round at times and a little bit confused as to where to go. But these early site hits are probably going to be the biggest thing that the guard have going for them, and the fake towards A, the lurk towards C, that'll have to be something I think G2 have to be wary of, is that Net lurk. They haven't really seen him lurking at all. That's the only issue in these last 3 rounds. They haven't spotted Net on lurks whatsoever, and Net's just kind of been roaming the map undetected, so they don't know that that's present yet.
Brought up the op impact. Oxy, the maps where he's lost, usually averages around 3 to 4 kills on the op. When they're winning, we're looking at about 6 to 7. Oxy, when he is popping off on the op on this map, sure G2 is in front. He's looking for the peek back over towards A main. But again, the guard. They've always been placing a turret early, but this time in a very different location. Nobody has contacted it yet.
Should end here towards B, it looks like. We drop the alarm bot, check over towards A main. No one's really pressured towards C. They're just watching for any pushes. But look at where G2 are now. They've posted Oxy up on the operator here towards A. The rest of G2 kind of lining up here towards mid. Penny's in a spot where he can send an aftershock. Shock darts can be played, and this is a fake here from Tex. You wanted to break any alarm bot there. And breaking an alarm bot, if there was any util from the KJ over towards C garage, it would force a player to play towards there. And surprisingly, the guard are going back the other way.
Playing drone.
Oxy trying not to get peeked. Not to get revealed by the owl drone. Doesn't see him. Has an opportunity for an easy first pick. Indeed, it's his. Still has even more opportunities to not only get another kill, still has a Blade Storm to help himself out around the corner. JonahP, is he going to check his right corner? It doesn't even matter. The late peek from ShahZaM, it almost catches a few off.
And they're running back over here towards C. A last-second ditch, or maybe not. Are they going back towards mid? This seems like it's going to be a mid play here. And there's no one here to receive just yet, but there's no aftershock for
No
Penny.
util.
And Penny needs to fight. He gets across to the site here, and he's going to try to contest.
In the back, Tex is just hunting for the frag onto Penny, but with Penny gone, surely JonahP goes too. Wippie with a second frag, Trent in a 1v5, picks up the first, but only one goes under his belt. There goes G2, a huge momentum swinging round.
And this is kind of the theme from Split, is that it feels a little uninspired from the guard at times. In these mid rounds, it feels like they don't exactly have a game plan to make an exec happen. And that was kind of this round. On a pinpoint, they get caught out, they don't take A control, they try and retake it, losing the fight to Oxy, and then they just try and scramble for a B hit. I think G2 have got the right game plan of pressing guard early in these defensive rounds and taking a lot of the map away from them and force them to play to their standards.
It's not what you expect from the guard.
C site.
No op contact, but they're going to be fighting for the orb. Wow. Random shot from Wippie. But again, the guard. They've given up A main entirely. And look how deep Oxy is.
Enemy tagged.
ShahZaM is going to spot a couple players outside of B as well. That's at least 2 guaranteed, so you're a little bit worried about this B hit, and I think ShahZam's smart to back away. I'm looking at Penny. Where's this aftershock gonna come in? You can deny the plant here, and the alarm bot would have vulnerable player, so one tick would bring him down 120. But they come back in towards garage. The dart to get space to clear things out. The turret gets info. That's a great fault line response there from Penny. Slowing things down and force them to go a different way. 45 seconds left. A probably not going to be on the cards here for an exit as Oxy's still maintaining that control. And yet ShahZaM is still here towards A for some reason.
It's just very awkward.
Oh, I get it. The smoke just faded, so there's a chance he could have slipped through sewers.
Left.
So G2 not playing with the full info that I thought they had.
Right, the alarm bot I thought would be enough for that, but it clearly isn't. Here we go. Great shot out from ShahZaM. ShahZaM has finally shifted over, and it's going to be a double. The aftershock pushing them to the link. Valyn does get one back, a huge one for Net, but they still haven't cleared out Penny. Penny with a big frag. Net now in a 1v2. Doesn't know where the second one is. A player coming from bottom mid. Swinging him now is Oxy. Pumping him down. 4th round for G2.
And he's pacey with it as well, Oxy. You can see how big this A main control is for G2. Because it's allowing them to take a 3-sided map and basically cut it down to 2 sites. They can put 2 on B, 2 on C, turret in garage, and Oxy's kind of just this immobile player on A that's continuing to maintain the control. And the guard have had no response whatsoever. They're not fighting for a main control, they're giving it up to G2 here. And it's giving them opportunities like this to say, hey, well, we know it's going to be a B hit, we know it's going to be a C hit, and they're having Penny hover around this really nice area where his aftershock denies the plan on B, and the fault line can retake garage. Now the guard are starting to recognize their faults, and they're going to try and contest here towards the A site.
Feels very fluid. For what it is such a big map. Guard facing a lot of adversity.
One gets popped out really early here from Trent. He gets a tag, and he's going to go hunting with it.
I was about to say they're scrambling for some sort of option, and the Hunter's Fury seems to be that option. They get something big with the Hunter's Fury there, and they even have a lockdown to use.
Now Penny with the operator picked up from Oxy. The C site's the least of their concerns because they have the lockdown for the retake and the KJ setup.
Wippie wants to kill too.
The way G2 are playing it, it's cutting down this 3-sided map into literally just 2 sites by playing retake on one or posting one single player there. And dapr's just maintaining backside control. I think the goal here for G2 is to retake garage and use this lockdown if it gets shaky. But in a 3 versus 5, there shouldn't be many troubles getting back into this site. I thought for a second I wasn't going to use it, but he does.
The only contest would probably be over towards garage if they do want to end up using lockdown. Here we go. Great paranoia is gonna leave. Tex in a 1v1. He clean 1v1 against dapr. Kill going back towards Trent. Trent has a double. 2v2 out of nowhere. Paranoia does chase him, but he's still somehow alive. Trent scrambling. Valyn 1v1 now. Huge kill onto wippie. Oxy looking to ninja defuse, but now he's playing. He's shifting. Valyn!
To win. A 1 versus 2 eBay clutch in G2. On a very light buy from the guard. Losing out the round. Big swing from Tex here. Big swing from Tex. Gives Valyn an opportunity to slip into his own smoke and isolate 1v1s. It was messy for both sides. Someone has to become the victor. And this round it was the guard. They used 2 ultimates as well. Or apologies, just 1. ShahZaM using his Hunter's Fury. And it's a big draw out from the guard. They have to feel rewarded from that last round.
Feel a lot
to counter Oxy in this position. He's trying to prevent Oxy from getting full control with the operator angle.
They've always maintained that same piece of util, but in terms of positioning, G2 have changed up their A-hold a whole lot. Double long at one point. Always just a single short, but no early contact whatsoever. The guard shift back to mid instead.
Deploying drone.
This is a lot better of a hold for G2 too. They actually have an alarm bot finally in B.
Penny could get 1 kill after shock, and he could definitely play here.
1 kill, Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, exactly. With the Rolling Thunder, both lockdowns coming into effect, so G2 will have this space back, and they're more than likely win the engagement towards B. So that will force the guard to go back to a different site. wippie in the backside has got a paranoia, nothing to cue it though.
Still have a nano to delay too if they just want to click it. There it is. Nano, paranoia funnels them, and the Rolling Thunder coming in. Tex
is hit by it.
Yeah, Tex stunned, but still Trent hasn't been hit by it. Everyone else on site sure has. ShahZaM can't get his way onto site, and instead walks right into the crosshairs of Tex. For the guard, that was all a piece of cake.
Pop in towards C, and forcing G2 on an instant save. Tex stunned, still got a kill onto wippie in the back site. For now, it's Oxy looking for these exits. Whatever he can get would be nice, but they're not really going to contest this fight too much. Exchanging ultimates, and he's not going to have his Rolling Thunder online. G2 letting guard slip through with a 3rd round. A very nice contact in towards C. After getting forced off the B angle, I think the simple thing there is just pop in towards C with the Rolling Thunder. And I think it works only because of the Rolling Thunder really catching both the players in the backside.
I've seen so many positions, or so many times that reposition for the guard. Already 3 times. 2 of them not exactly going right, but at least this time it's actually repositioned back over towards C. Just don't understand how, again, just the 1 Rolling Thunder was able to do it. Sometimes that's really all it needs, all that's necessary.
It's called a Rolling Thunder for a reason. It rolls, and I think the Nanoswarm popped very early from dapr. And then immediately after following up with the Rolling Thunder. So no one was kind of lacking behind the entry from Tex. Everyone followed in with them. And now the guard are the ones to call this timeout. Is G2 up still available for Oxy, and they have 1 more rifle to work with as well. There is still a buy up in the air here. And I wonder if they're going to move Oxy around the map. Yes, he's been very good at taking control of A, but now that you know that Tex is an operator, he's more than likely going to be looking to counter Oxy, because most of these angles, except for C, he's got the advantage. C and B, I should say. So he always has the advantage on A. And Oxy's been upping a lot towards sewers. So I want to see them shift Oxy around with this operator and kind of get him in different angles that are going to be a little bit off-angly against the guard. Yeah, he's going to walk down towards mid, and he's going to try and reinforce it. There's some util here to assist him as well. I like this. Switching it up early.
You wanted Oxy to push, get somewhere different. He's over towards that mid side. Not able to find anything behind the boxes. That's some big information. G2 already trying to clear double doors, but the guard Simply playing how an eco should be played together, relying on information, solid information.
And playing together here, G2. No one on A. ShahZaM sent a dart and instantly backed away, but Tex just full cleared long with an updraft. So, guard more than likely looking to end here towards A, but they are still playing a lot slower for this A exec. Seeing if they can catch anyone in rotation, because they know G2 have the lesser guns. So G2's response is probably going to be try and close the gap, get into their face with the Sheriff's Stinger, create an advantage for themselves by getting aggressive and taking a risk. The guard get none of that. So now the exec begins to funnel its way over towards A. ShahZaM playing off-site. Probably just going to try to deny the spike plant. He goes towards heaven where the shock darts can get some damage.
30 seconds
That's
left.
really about it.
There they are.
I like the idea though from G2 and mid, just the compounding chaos. If they were to see just a single person from the guard. Well, this type of setup too, there's no real commitment needed from Oxy or Penny here. Penny could still try, but Oxy, they're still very much going for this. Oh my goodness. Oxy on the front side getting eliminated by Tex. Yet another kill going towards Tex. 2 more players remaining, but again, they still have a rifle to be able to use to potentially take away a few from the guard.
Wait, hold up. There's a rolling thunder here as well, and I'm wondering if dapr is just going to save the op, or what's the deal here? And it looks like they are.
Yeah.
Thought for a second something could happen, but nothing really. It's
Too far away.
G2 tied up now with the guard
Last
for a
player
piece. A
standing.
couple more kills would be nice, but nothing really they could do there. And Penny, you know what you have to do. You just kind of got to run away here, not lose the operator. It's probably the biggest thing. The op for Oxy moving forward. He can get a drop. He is. Oh my gosh, he's actually getting called down very heavily here. And he loses the op as well. There's enough cash for the guard to risk that kind of investment of a hunt, and it works out very well in their favor.
G2, it's not like they're out of the woods, of course. Still very much with a buy. Again, Penny. Just trying to see if he's actually going to try to set up Oxy in this round, because again, we haven't seen too many of those aggressive aid main pushes. That's where the guard are.
Oxy, this time without the op, has to play with just the Vandal. And there's Tex with his own. Catching wippie, just jump spotting. And guard taking advantage of the op on the attack of Haven. That's a very uncommon thing to say.
Now for G2. No more smokes for the rest of the round. Retake options are a little bit restricted. See them trying to get a little bit more creative with that too. 2 players trying to push up A main. They're just playing around the alarm bot though. This could go crazy.
Guard's gonna reveal Penny here in a second. Okay, Oxy and Tex trading blows. ShahZaM, he's the second player here, and he wins the fight. He wins another. ShahZaM, the eyes yell, picking up the cap. Takes down 2 lives. Now a little bit more. Gets 1 shot, needs to back away. Yes, just back away here, ShahZaM. 40 seconds left. It's up to the guard to now make a play.
Super safe, and Penny still has a rolling thunder.
Oh, don't fight too much.
30 seconds
Whoa. They're just rolling right into their own spawn.
They into dapr. That's what they wanted.
That's genius.
So well. dapr was in a prime spot to receive both of those players jumping into him. And well placed there from Penny.
Just the idea there again, you always have dapr on some sort of lurk. But for him to be on the mid side, ready for a rolling thunder, what a call.
1 enemy remaining.
Works out extremely well. With low HP on valyn already, he was bound to win these kinds of fights. They take the lead back here, G2. No financial hardships for the guard whatsoever, though, as we're going to head into the later parts of this first half. Hunter's Fury here for Trent. Might be looking to punish here early on the C site. He holds the dart. That deep smoke is going to hurt the guard with their info. Look at this play. Oxy out towards long. Deep smoke towards C. It's full control here right now for G2. And the play here is Trent's going to send a dart to try and get a player like towards the logs area with this Hunter's Fury and try and just pave a way for the players in garage. But if Penny's going to put out shots like that, then you're not really going to work with too much going into this site.
A little tough. That's just net. Not a lot of util. Post plant's definitely gonna get hurt, but they still have Tax. Tax looking for the dash. Escape can still try to go for yet another pick with this dash. Here comes Wippie. Wippie in the back of sight. Has two, and dappr's right next to him. Everyone from the guard goes down in an instant.
A great hold from G2. Big fight won by Penny, and then the plans kind of just fall apart there because you're hoping you can get net in a position to lurk towards B as that Hunter's Fury kind of kicks everything off and towards C, and everyone on G2 is focused on just getting through B and getting into the next site. 6-4 here. G2 guaranteed at least a tied scoreline. They're looking very strong here in this first half. They just need to close out this first half here. It's a lighter buy here for the guard, and I wonder if Oxy's prepared for a double up trap. Didn't see it this time around. He's going to play the smoke.
He backs out very silently.
I think it's smart to do that. I don't even know if he has a shorty on it, but if he did, pop, pop, in the middle of smoke.
Nobody bites on. Nosebleed. Absolutely gonna pressure out Oxy, but again, he still has some space to work with, but it gets closed down. That paranoia, good. Tax looking to close down, but doesn't work out. ShahZaM in a huge position. Nobody's cleared him, and he's able to get two. Two from ShahZaM equalizes the round on just that one position alone. You still have so many options here. JonahP in the back of sight. G2 pushing out alone.
There's no fault line here for Penny to get into sight. JonahP's got one of his own. And this should be the round. ShahZaM had to go nuclear. dapr walking out with paranoia, looking for any kind of trade, and there's nobody there. The swings are ready from the side of the guard, and we are 6-5.
Last round.
As close as you can get to close out this first half. Up back in the hands of Tex. Up still available for Oxy here. So we've got ops on both sides. And ults to play with for each other. ShahZaM, man, if he gets that third, what a different round this could have been.
I mean, the double nanos were placed for flank. Both of them were already used by the end of that round.
Yeah, and that was honestly
possible.
Just such a nice exec as well. You talk about nanostorms from the guard. Hunter's Fury and the util forcing them into the Hunter's Fury. The way that Tex dashes in is it funnels everyone on G2 towards the defender spot. I forgot to mention that. It was really, really nice, but it was overlooked by the clutch attempt. It's Tex.
Ooh, the hair.
Sees a ponytail.
Ooh.
Oh, no, he should have waited.
Should have waited. Waited for even more of a threat from Ramp. You see Oxy, you'll take any chance that you can get to take down that guy.
Now he's got control because of the missed shot from Tex. Oxy assumes control. Nice smoke, though. Love that from the guard. Limiting Oxy's vision and almost forcing another player to play here with him on site.
Wippie, it's just the off angle that should be good for one, but it's not good for any. Still the second person around the corner. dapr, such a huge position. The paranoia goes in, the TP goes out. valyn is gone.
There's a Hunter's Fury as well to boot here. ShahZaM, I think, was looking to get it down the gut of C-Long. But now with TP over towards the A site. Lockdown to confirm that this is going to be an A hit. I love this because that will solidify these rotations. But this timing could be huge. ShahZaM should just stick around here towards defender spawn.
They're re-hitting C. There's no one here.
Oxy hasn't seen anything. So ShahZaM just needs to sit here and spawn with this Hunter's Fury. This could win them the round.
Let's see it. ShahZaM just needs the one lineup. They need a weird plant position here. 18 seconds left. There's more time for that Hunter's Fury to go absolutely off. 13 seconds left. 12. Hunter's Fury still going in, but there's nobody here to capitalize. Plant should be able to go down. Penny with a big kill, but still Plant in 3v4.
There's not a lot of util, but there's that rolling thunder that he got from the Plant. And
Jonah
now getting aggressive, funneling them into the main man. And there comes Trent again. A huge double, leaving it on to ShahZaM, who's got a 1v3 and no util. And a shock dart already headed his way. An angry Tex already holding his ankle. We go 6-6 here on the half.
JonahP.
Switching sides.
The X factor at the end of that round, but just because of that one rolling thunder, the elements align for him. As again, just that one piece de la resistance ends up doing it towards their spawn. But what a half from realistically both teams. The guard had to fight so much to even make this scoreline happen.
Just look at the highlights. Back and forth between these two teams. If the first map was any indicator of how this series was going to go, this one's even more so. That first half even more so. G2 starting off dominantly. Letting things slip and letting guard back into this game. Now on the attacking side, this is where Oxy is a menace. His better sides are always his attack. Specifically on this map, he likes to pop off. And it's all because of Penny. Can set him up like this. Split in towards C, but no one pressuring out towards long just yet.
Destroyed.
Now they're shaking their boots. The respect here from the guard.
No
leaving
one on
CY
site.
open.
A full retake now from the guard. And wippie's gonna sit in this corner where he can catch players in rotation.
Just gonna be the one opportunity for wippie, though nobody else here in this position with him. Right click whiffs. Still, the position for dapr continues to inch up mid, and he might get one. He might get one in double door. Here comes the take in the back of sight. Net with a big one, but ShahZaM going big, but the kill still goes back in mid. Trent with a double. One more player remaining, though. dapr has been here the whole time, ready and raring to go. The smoke should be going down. He has the line of sight. 53 HP, and dapr is gone. The defuse is in.
It's hard to play those long angles with just a ghost. Guard giving respect, backing up, I like it. Just playing the retake together, you already had Tex in a really nice spot who pushed all the way towards a long, got control, and allowed that flank to happen. G2, letting the pistol round slip away to the guard. That will give them the bye here. We looked at that first half and we saw a lot of highlights from every single player. Net not putting up the numbers that we wanted, but still has been extremely solid as a KJ. And now on the defensive side, I think is where he can really shine here, Gus.
Again, the man dropped over 30 in the last map anyways. It's just an expectation.
Yeah.
But the man who has always been on his ish in terms of innovation, realistically, this entire team has historically been known for that innovation.
Him and Trent were on a mission in the last map. And now they've got to do it again. A date with M80. He got to the M80. The rivalry continues to brew up between those two teams, and Guard is just trying to play spoiler to all of it to prove that they're not a team to look down upon, and they haven't been whatsoever. Proving us wrong left and right, reverse sweeping Oxygen, taking the first map away from the Guard. Yes, it was their map pick, but we saw how shaky they looked on split. And to play spoiler to all of this, it felt like destiny that we had the Guard, and a lot of people felt it was destiny. Guard and M80 are in the finals.
Oh yeah.
The way G2 have looked up this mid-season face-off, the way Oxy has always bounced back after a loss, gotta feel good here about G2's chances. And they do get the spike down. Low HP makes this very difficult.
And more importantly, the Guard has never once touched anyone from G2. Okay.
No way, wippie.
Okay, never mind. wippie getting two. Still two players in the middle of sight. Looking for some chaos. Net fully flashed. valyn with two more kills going back. wippie now the last one remaining, but in a beautiful spot. Smoke covers him up. Huge kill. Only one. Oh! wippie whips it up again.
Another clutch for this man. Served on a platter with the Guardian. First to Collat, and oh, big gun dropped, and big man picks it up. Of course, wippie lines him up. It had to be this man to clip up another massive Haven clutch. Tying up the scoreline, resetting the Guard, and giving G2 the steering wheel in this matchup.
They said they wanted the Guard. They wanted to go at it.
Guard.
7-7. Still disadvantageous for the Guard here, but again, G2. Again, when have we seen this team be undeniable? There have been so many questions about this team's form throughout the season, even though they ended 4-1.
X getting aggressive. This is the Guard's second time they've gone for the third time, apologies, they've gone for these kind of fast flanks, and G2 have recognized it. They put ShahZaM there to clear. wippie from his last round to this one. Still keeping form here in the Guard. Not a lot of options to respond with. These players are very split apart, and G2 are working as a unit to retake A. And this tension is going to force the hand of Net to try and swing. And he's ultimately not going to win it. Text down below. What do you find here? Nothing at all. G2 systematic in their clearing. Not a single shot landing onto them. And they're going to take this round easy peasy unless something absolutely crazy happens with this classic.
It just won't. Surely. Trent. For a random frag. Not going to be able to find absolutely anything. Let's go next. She's flawless. The guard staring down a deficit.
And it's difficult to make this comeback happen, especially when momentum swings so heavily to a team like G2. Oxy's a kid that feeds off the way his team is feeling.
One enemy remaining.
They like to get loud. We know ShahZaM's a loud man. And when he wants to get his team hype, he knows how to do exactly that. Guardian still in the mix here for dapr. But a heavy look towards the seaside. There's Trent with a Hunter's Fury, but he's on the opposite side of the map, so he can't do anything. And it will put G2 in a position to just take the seaside.
The nano.
As basic as an exit as you can get.
Oh, look at that!
Full control, and the stun keeps him in it.
G2, where have they been cooking this up? Have they been hiding this from us? Here they go.
Look at that.
Guard are coming out. ShahZaM needs to hold on. Oh, not able to get anything. You still have valyn and Tex on the front side. So much overwhelming pressure, but you still have Oxy in the backside. Needs to do a 1v4 here. Trent knows exactly where he is. One more player in the front of sight. Trent hasn't peeked. Trent is finally going. Oh my goodness!
No way. Oxy's so close. Oxy's so close to getting the clutch, but Trent with a pixel perfect swing.
You failed.
Trading out JonahP. And what a round between these two teams. Fault line Nanoswarm combo to catch net in rotation. Dies to the Nanoswarm. And then JonahP Trent fault line Hunter's Fury combination onto the spike planner. What a chaotic round between these teams. And what a round to display the true brilliance of these IGLs.
One enemy remaining.
8-8, neck and neck. Who pulls ahead here? 3 ultimates left for G2.
So many close ultis.
Another look over here towards the A side. Fault line. The established control.
5 ultis on the server with only 2 ult points. The guard, 3 players in the back of A.
And look at this already. The guard are backing away. They know the Rolling Thunder is the big threat here. And dapr can get onto the Hunter's Fury. Or
already going for it.
dapr can get onto the lockdown. Drone backs away, cutting noise. And they back away already. They're smart about this because they can get right back into the retake as soon as it flips.
They still have smokes. They still have a dash. Are they dashing into the back of sight? Here goes Tex. Tex is here, and he's looking to fight. JonahP getting one. Spray in through wippie. Tex does get one. Wippie here to save the day. Wippie. Oh my god. Oh my net. What a shot through the wall. 1v2 for dapr is 1 away from the lockdown. Knows at least where net is. valyn.
There's a little more. dapr just around the corner can get the lockdown. But valyn a little bit quicker and gives guard the lead. What a read from the guard, by the way. So quick to get into back sight. They back away so the Rolling Thunder doesn't hit them, and Tex is so quick to act. It's immediately into sight, and this fault line response spell is perfect. They know exactly the path that Oxy was looking for to get into sight.
Tex just hugging the wall. 2 players watching the cross. They had a line of sight on him. They were tracking him the whole time. Now G2.
Oh, hold on. Fault line early. Rolling Thunder in the mix here towards A, and that shocked our combination looking for damage. Doesn't get anything, unfortunately. And once more, the guard go deep down towards the C site. They want full control here.
No contact in garage. They are going to hear the owl drone. Person and snipers.
Hold on. Lockdown here for dapr. Rolling Thunder to contest it. Where is the rotate from JonahP? He's still sticking towards the A site. And G2,
they're not biting.
Honestly, no ground. They lost full control of A because of the fault line and the smoke. And now they've got to try to recuperate some form. And it's not going to be it. Nets! Finding 3 from garage window. You don't see that every day. No one wins fights from there but Net himself. And guard knocking onto double digits. There's no ults left over here for G2. They've got to make it work with just 2.
It's just an utter tragedy for G2. No matter how you look at it. 1 man in nest. Not able to take him down. They still have a whole lot of util under their belts. Potentially, if they can fake this side of the map, can maybe TP to A. But it would have to be a marathon, and they're still waiting for it too. Sova on the other side, Jet on the other side. Even though they know that these players are in C.
There's a Rolling Thunder here as well, just to make this round even harder. No plant going in. No, it does.
Oh, it's in. It's in.
An opportunity, but valyn just catching wippie on the open, and nothing there Penny can do. Guard winning out another round. The full house from valyn and net.
That was the big one. That was the gun round.
That was everything. G2, what's the cash looking like? They have ultimates. dapr still with his own. And Oxy, does he have his? He does, I think. He has his blade stone, so we have a buy here. Still for G2. But this is looking very, very similar to how Split played out. Coming down to the wire once more for G2. 4 ults here. 4 big ones. And it's a stinger buy here.
The ultis can carry those stingers, though. But look at C.
No one here to receive. It's just going to be another delay, another retake. Net is going to try and maintain garage control as best he can to make the retake happen. That seems to be the focus with the lockdown. But Oxy out mid. The guard fully compressed over towards A. What is this kind of play?
It's just delay, delay, delay. Keep these players in mid and have the guard flank on him.
Oh my god, there's just no way.
And he goes for it again. Double kill from Net. From out of thin air.
There's a plant, and there's a chance. The way Net is playing, it's pure vengeance. ShahZaM trying to maintain garage control to prevent the lockdown, but they're trying to retake garage control to get the lockdown in. But look at this, just hail of util. Not a chance in the world for that guy.
What do you do there if you're Shaz? 2 players in the back of sight trying to hold. They're all gone. A Sheets flawless for an 11th. G2, they will have a bye going into the next round.
Not a
but will
chance.
they after if they lose?
G2
Flawless.
giving guard an 11th round. They've been here before. They were literally here a map ago. With 4 ultimates, 3 ultimates now. How do you muster a win here? Guard
Swamp grenade.
with their own lockdown still in the mix, getting aggressive again towards the A side. No op. We've not seen an op in this half yet from either of these players. Between Tex and Oxy. Another C hit. Lurk up towards garage from dapr.
The strongest C hold that we've seen.
Where's the Hunter Spirit gonna go though?
Man on the front side, valyn. valyn's in the middle of the nano. Did they see him? Did they see him? They're walking right into him. valyn!
Down C.
You gotta let the man have his space. The man can perform in that big of a fashion. valyn, all he needed was a smoke. All he needed was a nano. 3 kills for valyn. A Sheets flawless. G2's guns. They're gonna be scrappy going into the next, but this is map making for valyn.
And individual plays between him and Net have been putting this team, the guard, across the line in a lot of these rounds. They're expecting a hit here. This time Tex picks up the operator. And this time, he posts up here now towards the A site. Fault line holds them both back, and they try to fault line into Trent's Hunter's Fury. Thought he might have held that for a little bit longer. With a lockdown, possibly.
45
Lockdowns can be traded here. Lockdowns can very easily get traded here, but ShahZaM can break the opposing lockdown. So lockdown favors right now the G2 side. TPC's nothing.
The peak is gonna see
Forced
nothing.
to back away. There's nothing here for G2 on this A side. Where do they want to group back up? They still have wippie in a nice spot. And I don't, you kind of have to clear this, I feel like.
wippie is calling him back after the L drone. Jonah peeking the wrong corner. Easy kill there for wippie. Everyone else is still here. There goes the swing. Trent goes down. Tex still alive with the off. He goes again.
Getting away. He wants the peak. Rolling Thunder will catch him on the exit, but he gets away fine. 2 versus 3 now, and there's a flank already.
Look at the peak. Bang. ShahZaM.
No. And how
Huge one
did
for
they delay the
ShahZaM.
spike here? valyn, where's the peak? He doesn't fight. ShahZaM backs away towards long.
timing!
ShahZaM might go down. ShahZaM down to 16 HP. And
Hunter's
there's
Fury.
that flank. The linchpin. And no chance for ShahZaM now. Lockdown's in effect. His Hunter's Fury's been nullified. He can't play it for the post, and they can just stick this.
He's
G2,
running.
is that the series? Or do they stay alive? Is there a chance for ShahZaM here? No. Dodging every single one, and the defense just sucked the full way.
What?
Unless the shock
No.
doesn't hit in time. And Guard
Defenders
pushing
win.
us to a third map at 13-8.
A dominant finish from the Guard, but how many times do we see G2 push that to the brink?
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
This is it.
G2. What a back and forth map. What a back and forth series we've had so far. The Guard pulling ahead at the tail end of Haven after going 8-8. It was back and forth throughout the first and second half, closed out in a heavy Guard favor.
It's just the fact that G2 did it in such dominating fashion, you still had the Guard doing it in dominating fashion. G2, however, they still had their moments. They still had the takes working, quote unquote, but once the Guard actually started to really close down on space, when that play from valyn came down, the 4-man push into A main, the garage hold from Nets, everything for the Guard just ended up working out in terms of their intention on defense.
It was a lot of individual performances coming out from the Guard. Net, valyn, and Trent, it feels like they have a vengeance to get to M80, but they have one more map to do it. Ascent, our final deciding map for this series. It's been back and forth all night long. And then in just a second, we'll have the decider. We're going to throw things to a break, and after we'll have the analyst test to set ourselves up for this final map.
Defenders win.
With eBay Refurbished, you have a choice of refurbished qualities to best fit your budget. Certified refurbished items are restored by the manufacturer to like new for up to 50% off. This drill was barely out of the box. Soon it will be back to working like new. Here's how it works. Every item is carefully inspected. Any imperfections are fixed by the manufacturer or manufacturer-approved vendor. Then it's tested to make sure it's working perfectly. Once it passes inspection, it's given the verified stamp of approval. Then repackaged with new accessories and shipped to its ultimate destination. With Certified Refurbished, you can shop with confidence because all our manufacturers go through a rigorous vetting process. And every purchase comes with an award-winning 2-year warranty, a money-back guarantee, and hassle-free returns. That's what makes it the smarter way to shop for premium brands. eBay Refurbished. Like new products, better than new prices.
I just saw these young whippersnappers, struggling to stay awake on the desk. I wanted to show them how a real man brings the energy. That's all.
So, Miner, y'all gonna take them? Hey, someone's got to have the energy. Maybe you can give that energy to these teams, all right? Because we're going to map 3. We're going to Ascent. I was actually, Tanner, we were talking about it when we were about halfway through that map, kind of which way we thought things were going to go. Because G2, they had things tied up. They got a couple really good rounds, but then after that, it was just Guard all the way.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all G2 once we saw the pistol round loss and then a huge clutch from wippie.
Yeah.
He had picked up somebody's Guardian, ends up winning the round just by spamming through some smoke. And that was when we were having that conversation. Bach and I were both like, well, we need to see the full buy to see kind of how this is going to play out for G2. And then that round happened, and it felt like G2 could do it. And then once the game got a little too close, Net and valyn got their hands back on it, and it was insane. Net's ability to read the aggression from G2, and then not only read it and leave, but read it and accept it so well. So many times they try and run down inside garage, and he just wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of a false start coming in. We had this expectation coming into the second half. Again, let's see what they do. If their buy round looks good, we'll roll with it from there. They win that round. It's like, okay, here we go. And then, nope, never mind. Completely flattened. And then from then on, it really was the guard pretty much controlling the pace in the second half. They definitely looked really strong. Even in that final round, it got like kind of close, but not really. It comes down to the 2v2 and then a 2v1 for ShahZaM as he has to retreat because there's a lockdown down, but he has to get ground between him and the site because even though he has Hunter's Fury, he can't use it to kill the lockdown because they'll chase him down and kill him. And if he does that anyway, he kills the lockdown, they're still going to plant. He's like, it's rock in a hard place situation. Either he uses the ult for the planter and tries to run, or he uses the ult for the lockdown and tries to fight. Either way, it's just not going to work out well for him. It was really good team play coming in from guard, which is exactly what we've praised them for all this first split. You're seeing it there as well. wippie, though, I mean, Tanner, wippie played so good. Outside of even just that one clutch, like so good from wippie.
Yeah, it's so good and very aggressive on the Omen when they needed him to, finding multi-kills, but then eventually that just turned into round wins for the guard. It was... I actually Googled it. I said, like, what do you call a hero that falls short? Because we were seeing the heroism work for the guard, and we were seeing the heroism for G2, but it wasn't collecting the rounds. It wasn't connecting well enough. It was Oxy 3Ks when he needed 4. It was wippie's 2Ks when he needed 3. They were just falling short in those rounds. And I mean, if you go back to look at the end of it, honestly, it felt like G2 were kind of running out of ideas and were a little done on the attacking side. It was an unfortunate spray down from Net, a 3K that happened inside garage. The next round, they try and run at Net again, and he does the same exact thing. He kills the 2 players that are trying to crunch the C site. The C site is taken, 5v3, the guard retaken, and then from there on out it's basically flawless for the rest of the game, for the rest of the round. So G2 felt a little out of steam, and I don't blame them when sometimes things just weren't going their way.
Like, we watched the series against FaZe, and it did feel like G2 was kind of clunky on this map, but in that moment, that was Oxy's time to shine. He was always stepping up and closing out rounds. But what do we say the guard did coming into the midseason face-off better than any other team? They shut down duelists, and they do it well. They've done it to players like Koalanoob, and now they're doing it here as well to Oxy. He has a pretty rough map performance there on Haven. Again, this is a map that not that long ago, he was putting in some serious work. That's exactly what they needed to do. That was their win con for me if they were going to take Haven. So now we move to Ascent, Sierra, and I feel like we were saying it. This is like super even territory for everybody.
Yeah, this is honestly I think the best case scenario for a lot of people, including just us and the viewers, to be able to see both of these teams really be able to come alive, prove their case on why they should be playing up against M80 tomorrow, why they should be going into the grand finals. Both of these teams, if not mistaken, are undefeated on Ascent. So this is where, for these teams, they're really going to be able to prove once and for all, this is what it takes. I'm just worried that G2, it's been a long day. They just took that loss, that they could just be out of that steam.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be a factor for G2, but you also have to think, right, at the very end of it all, this could be your very last map. And whether you win or lose, obviously losing feels horrible, there is going to be some respite, right? You're going to have that rest. So I think G2 can come into this one and give it everything they got, because at the end of the day, it's not as late as the day as yesterday. They're going to have a bit of time. And they also, in map 3 against Oxygen, in a series that started very shaky, down but not out, that's what G2 did, and they played Ascent so incredibly well.
I think the one good thing is like the way the sides are starting out. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be G2 on the defense to start out here on Ascent. And if I remember correctly, guards attack on this map is not super strong. It's not to say it's weak, but G2's defense is kind of weak, so it like kind of helps them a little bit to get the ball rolling early at least. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about where this one goes. I do think the results that we've seen from the guard look potentially a little bit better than what we've seen from G2. You look at the teams they've been beating and how they've been beating them, holding teams to single digits throughout the first split, even coming into the midseason face-off. Whereas you had that very close game with FaZe just recently for G2 where it went into multiple overtimes, plus games earlier on that were in double digits with both teams. I kind of give the slight nod to the guard, especially coming off of a map 2 victory. Maybe like we talked about it earlier today, the momentum will just carry over into map 3.
Well, G2 were able to do it earlier on in the day, managed to take it and win to be moving on. We'll have to see if they can do it again here as our match is ready. It's time to head over to Mine and Sully.
M80, man, they are patiently waiting to see who is going to be the one to take them on the grand finals. It is a third and final map between two Goliaths here in Challengers, Guard and G2. Map number 3, it's Ascent. It's a map that the Guard are currently 4-0 on. Just beat FaZe Clan the other day, and now they've got to do it again to G2, who come off a heartbreaking Haven loss.
On this map, we've seen wins from the Guard over M80, Disguised, FaZe Clan. G2, they are also perfect on this map. There is no better way to close out this best of 3 between these two teams than on a map where these two teams are on paper flawless.
And G2 just had to play this map of Ascent. They just had to play Split as well for a second time. And a third map decider against Oxygen and went 13-11. And the day before that, they played against FaZe Clan, 18-16. It's been nothing but close matchups on this map of Ascent for G2. And for the Guard, it's been stomps. 13-9 versus FaZe, 13-8 versus M80, 13-9 versus Mad Lions, and 13-5 against Disguise. All in the span of these last 2 months. And G2, they know that their work is cut out for them. This is a Guard that looked pristine coming into this series, look pristine on map 2. And here on map 3, G2 exceeding all expectations. The third seed coming into the midseason face-off in the top 3 are trying to play spoiler to the Guard M80 rematch, and they start on the defending side, and it's Guard that put the heavy contest here towards B, and Oxy's one to receive.
Oxy's been that guy all season. Can he start it off right? Fireworks to start off our last map here in the loser side, but Oxy, he still wants a whole lot more.
Backs away. At least Tex backs away. An instant 4 versus 5. And they will rework their way towards Catwalk. There's nobody here from G2 looking to play this area, but they have a Nanostorm that will help them. The Grab Wolf not going to keep them in it. dapr still with another Nanostorm to play with, a 3-man hold down on the A site.
This coverage is just so dangerous. One person still in the back of sight, but someone in heaven is already wide swinging. dapr. What? Was that an accident? I don't know what just happened. Were they trying to make their way through? They trapped 2 of their own players. One person goes into Cat.
And it's clean from G2 in this pistol round. They needed a clean reset, I feel, going into this next map. It wasn't the best showing from those players individually on that second map that we just saw. A lot of scary moments from Oxy, who I felt wasn't getting into as many fights as he should have been winning. A lot of opping opportunity and anchor points, but still not the statistical prowess that we know from Oxy. So he starts us off with 2 kills, and the Guard, we're looking at Net and Trent, who have been 2 consistent fraggers throughout this entire series. They're on a revengeance tour to try push themselves to the finals here. As they were touted again, Gus, they were one of the best teams coming in Challengers, and everyone looked at this team, the Tarek and Lug Invitational, and the Scrimbuck said, hey, Guard win it all, man. Guard win it all.
Even though this team has been perfect on Haven so far this season, they only have 1 winning attack side. That was against Mad Lions. The Guard aren't exactly historically in the best place to be able to succeed in this first half, if anything.
Yeah.
Again, G2, we've seen dapr be able to pop off wippie, ShahZaM on the defensive side so much today. At this point, this is just the right start to keep up that mentality.
It's about G2 getting a good defensive start here. A good defensive first half. And it would be nice to start off with a 2-0. And I think it will end in a 2-0 with 5 HP for JonahP. The bonus up next. Rifles will be collected here. Yep, Spectre gets dropped. Okay, no. Oh, he does pick it up. All right. So they will walk away with 3 weapons. A nice bonus coming in for G2 into this next round as the guard. 4 rifles picked up, and not a single player working over towards A. But they do have some contention towards mid, and we know the guard like to play a little bit more slow and working map control, trying to get picks onto G2. That's the theme that's been on their attacking side for the last 2 maps that we've seen, and so it will continue here on Ascent.
G2, they're already kind of closing down a bit of that space.
So early here, I just realized.
He's already up in mid.
He's gonna get smoked off, but it looks like G2 are trying to funnel this play over towards Catwalk, where Knife goes towards A main, sees nothing. Wippie sees nothing, and Oxy repivots back towards Catwalk where they think the hit's gonna happen.
The turret, again, is going to get spotted by the Owl Drum, but the peek does come out from dapr to try to deny it. There immediately already is a paranoia alongside the smoke. Tax just lining on in. No worries about anyone that could be logs. Tax looking to fight Penny. Penny caught with his pants down. There's still 2 people in the back of sight, but the guard are completely evading them. What an idea here from the guard.
And they're wrapping towards the A site of all places. It's such a risk because you don't know who's there, where they could be as well. Wippie. We hear the footsteps, and now they know they've got to contest with Wippie. ShahZaM in rotation, but Net plays Lurk. He plays the spoiler to these rotations, and Wippie can't fight. Guard get the plant down, and they will have a solid post plant with Trent already in position to play shocks.
Well, there's your innovators. The guard. Again, they made themselves known for their creativity. A completely unknown roster going into 2022. By the very end of it, had international experience, wins against every North American team. In this round, we were certain that a B hit was going to happen, but instead they used B as their path to A. There's a beautiful pre-round call, but I don't know how many of those G2 can really take.
They will hold on to the operator, so we're going to see the next round with Oxygen in his hand again. He was influential on Haven with establishing map control with the operator. We didn't see it too much on Split, but on Haven, you could definitely see the impact he had on G2's defending side. The map control he established for them. And it will be a recurring theme here. But not this round. Oh, never mind. It is going to be this. I thought it was going to be nice for a second. Let Wippie play with the operator. But no. Early, or very early timeout getting called here. And I'm curious as to why. I think maybe they see a really big gap in their mid play, which is something that Oxygen exploited as well in their series. The fast B splits did give Oxygen a couple of rounds here or there. And so I think G2 are trying to solve that issue here as well now, maybe.
It's just tough to even think about what they're trying to fix. It's so early into the game.
And I feel like maybe the call here is to remove that alarm bot and have an actual body there to fight. Like put one market, one towards like top or bottom mid with Oxy and the operator. That would commit 3 players towards the B side and just put 2 players in A. That could work. But again, mid is kind of this weird contentious spot, I feel, for G2. And it's going to be, I think, key to figure out those mistakes and the issues now, as soon as you can, so they don't kind of continue to pop up throughout this first half where, you know, Guard are very solid in their defense, Gus, and so one of the main contingencies of winning this map in this series is you have to have a good defensive start.
Actually, we talked about how fluid he was on the defensive side earlier on Ascent. That's mainly just going to come down to his off positioning. However, if he can impose his will early on and actually getting some of those first picks, it's always going to lead the guard into respecting these choke points. Always utilizing util to even make their way in.
They split backing out towards A. The smoke goes down towards mid, so that's going to call an instant rotate for ShahZaM to work in towards Garden. But who's here to respond from G2? 3 players now, but ShahZaM might get cut out of the fight early on as Wippie has to deal with the players pushing.
Huge first frag. Tex is going for the trade, and indeed he gets it. But again, 17 HP. It could be the ShahZaM show. ShahZaM with a double. Could he get a triple? No, it's Penny. Penny going big. Double kill for Penny. Net in a 1v3. Again, we've seen Net do this before, but Penny. Unreal play from Penny. A triple when he was isolated on site.
guns him down from the side, and G2, I love this hold. You're putting a player towards mid with an alarm bot. And as soon as this smoke goes down towards Link, and we've seen two variations of this play from the guard where they'll actually push through the smoke, or this time around they will go towards Catwalk. This time they went towards Cat, and ShahZaM got really good time in this rotate. Was here to influence the fight, pull attention away so wippie didn't get cleared, and he wins his first gunfight, setting Penny up for success in the rest of the round. Guard in this eco, it's Tex to play with the knives here. And they don't immediately push into the A site, but that seems to be the key thing here with JonahP and his ultimate.
The knife to scale their way up. Again. No one's gonna come up from Cat. The turret is down, but no other KJ util is here. This grab wheel is gonna be so huge for wippie. Gonna have to manage it. Double kill coming out from wippie, but one of them was onto the KO ulti. Net, technically in a 1v3, might have an opportunity for a revive, but that is way too tough with a double swing out from heaven. Good stuff at least now for G2. It was against the pistols of the guard. The next round is just even bigger though. G2 starting to mount.
Ult's coming to fruition as well. dapr with his lockdown. Net with his own as well. Gonna set Oxy up again in position to try and win out this duel against Net. Garter's scrambling on this default. Trying to set themselves up. Where do they want to get control? Are they going to try and force Oxy off the angle? Doesn't look like it, as he should win this fight. No, Net up close wins the fight, and that's going to be a heavy hit here because G2 have to reinvest players now.
ShahZaM going in, try to fight against the guy who just beat an Opper. Old.
That's going to be the lockdown as well for Net here. He can rework back towards A and pop that one as well.
They don't spot the KJ though. Easily think I could be going back towards that mid side. And indeed, you do see that hard reposition. The KJ is going to replay back over towards Market to try to play with the alarm bot.
Oh, this is tough, though, because if this exit comes through, yeah, okay, smart for ShahZaM to play back towards spawn, because he was going to have to backpedal into sight, given his stare position, and that would have forced him to be isolated on site here. KJ util gets slowed down as well. Now comes the hit. Where's the lockdown? Is it going to get used? It doesn't look like it for now. Oh. There it is, finally. No chance to slow this push down either. One nanostorm gets broken. ShahZaM trying to delay as best he can, but it's almost inevitable guard get out here.
Again, it's going to take a minute. dapr still going to have the cross after the smoke dissipates. Big kill from dapr. Oh my goodness, that was on site from valyn. Huge shot from valyn. Still a man advantage from the guard off of that insane shot.
wippie's going to have the Cosmic Divide. I thought for a second he stuck that valyn, but no, he doesn't. Spots two players, and that will give Net first line of sight. The first contact, he swings with the Cosmic Divide. Does he go out through it? No, he doesn't. Instead, it's a clear here from Penny.
Equalizes it 3v3. Now all three players isolated on site, but Tex pushes it down. G2 had no chance.
And a phenomenal fight from him as well. An instant response to the pressure in towards B main. And I love that fight, because you know when Penny goes for a swing onto Net and B main, it's an instant man advantage on site, and you fight through it despite losing a man in the process.
30 seconds left.
This is G2 on the back foot now, as the guard started to mount pressure and momentum, now resetting almost G2 fully. That would be this round if they win it. This Blade Storm's going to give them an opportunity to get aggressive as well, of all things. Oh my, Oxy, you can't break that.
Not with the Blade Storm, at least.
Net. You certainly can fight that here.
Net gets spotted. Turret is going to spot him. Oxy can push with it. Net. And he already took down the Opper. Oxy, he feels that pressure. The play over towards mid is still happening. But this 1v1 is massive.
Oh, look at what is going on here with Trent. Kill there for Oxy. They're going to work in towards guard, and the maintain of control here is for this lockdown. dapr gonna delay as best he can. A lovely set of util. Oh, not a lot of space there for Tex to work with. He dashes on in. He gets into sight here, and a Hunter's 3 as well to commit to protecting the lockdown play.
No one getting hit by it, but the lockdown coming in at a good time. There's nothing here for the guard for them to try to stop it, except for a good spot. JonahP just so happens to be deeper up, and Cat Penny does take down Tex. That was such an important position for Tex. valyn does take one back. At least Leaving 4 on the board here for G2. Hunter's Theory still alive for Trent.
Nope,
it's all going to come down to valyn.
Gone with the null command, so there's no post-plant util.
Oh, Trent does get one through the smoke, but Oxy immediately takes down valyn. valyn needed at least one to really make this possible, but now Trent isolated. Players flying, so many pixels in front of him. No uniform one to aim at. 5-2, G2. They bounce back on the round that they so desperately needed.
Commitment to holding down that lockdown, G2, and it doesn't ultimately get them the space that they wanted, but it commits players outside of the site. One player pushed towards 7 for the side of the guard, and I think it was JonahP that was stuck fighting in towards garden for that lockdown. And those players are caught out in the open, caught hanging, and that's where G2 find those picks to make the retake a lot more easy in their favor. That will reset the guard here instead, forcing just a hero rifle from valyn now.
Oxy does see the turret. At least hears it for now. Back over towards that mid side. But again, we've seen G2 be able to capitalize in these types of rounds with the Sheriffs. Not so much the guard. And that's just because the guard has always, almost always, been on the front foot in this game, in this set. Tanner said it earlier. G2, the epitome of down but not out.
ShahZaM will shoot this shock dart as soon as the turret rings out something. And it's going to be a lot of damage. Only 4 of these players actually have, I was going to say none of them have armor, but they don't have heavy armor. And Oxy's looking for the mid-rotate, doesn't see anything, doesn't spot anything. He will get smoked off, so it's going to lock him into the smoke, but he's getting info, and there's still a player towards Cat, so they effectively still know this is going to be a B hit.
And once that smoke goes down in mid, it's almost going to be fully known. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds
nice knife
left.
as well. Just full cleared catwalk.
Yep. It's waiting for that one.
Expected now to be a B hit. You can see already Oxy beginning to pivot back towards the B site now.
Nano's just going to keep delaying.
Very well timed. A good Nano as well. So much time being bought here.
So
Swinging on in is Oxy for 1. 2 players in back site, Gus.
I mean, I don't even think those players need to do anything. Oxy pops up and he gets yet another 3. G2, that was just another part of the process, though. We were looking at Sheriffs from the guard. Big round coming up once again. The loss bonus isn't fully there.
Oxy on the op here as well now. So you gotta switch up the offense spot because he's playing another random kill already then. Just watch that one back.
Sure.
Where does Oxy go in this op?
Swarm grenade.
He takes it towards mid once more. We've seen him only on B and mid this time. So no switch up. Tex is gonna pull one out himself to try and combat. See how this one fares for him. I was skeptical on both the attacking ops that he pulled out, but he's found quite the success with it. And I think the way G2 are playing, I like the opping position he set up in because it's been a lot of aggression towards B, maybe expecting a switch up and a push towards A. So he tries to welcome it with the op. Nobody there this time around, and G2 are a lot smarter. They switched up their opping decisions and where they want to get map control.
It just is funny to see that call out because we've never seen an A push from G2. Tex holds on to the position, but he pushes up. He gets one opportunity at a frag and he gets it.
Penny will slow down the catwalk play, but this could redirect very easily back to mid. And it looks like that's what's going down here. valyn pressuring it, just Trent teasing the players over towards A. And now ShahZaM is going to get caught out here. He's the only player and cut down again by the operator. No one here on the B site to receive as dapr tries to catch players crossing. This is the guard taking B site control. You might want to call save if you're G2, unless you're going to pick here fast.
Again, just totally uncharacteristic in general, though, from the guard. There's no way that you expect the attacking up on the A side alone, waiting for a pick.
Bro, what from Tex? All right, then.
Why not keep going?
A little bit more as well. He wants the ace for sure now. And G2, I mean, you can't really pick up the op here. You still have money to make the retake happen. Oxy, though, might be hard-pressed to get a buy. So I think at least one of these guys needs to stay alive. And if anything, I would say play for the exit.
There you go.
Just not happening against Tex.
Solid ace from Tex. All 5 of them coming individually. But again, downing it at the beginning of this tournament, Not so much now. The attacking op, at least going to be in the right position, or at least you know that the rest of this team is playing around the pace.
Looks so clean doing it. I think that was 5 shots, by the way. And 5 kills. Bro makes it look easy with his steez. G2 will have another buy. Oxy gets dropped over a rifle. 3 rounds left here in the half, and Oxy, again, looking to get aggressive towards B. I think the thing here for G2 is they kind of have to recognize where this op is going to be and how it's going to change this third map. Because it did change a lot on Haven. Oxy wasn't as confident swinging in towards sewers that we saw, and now he's not going to be as confident swinging into these main extremities.
I mean, you saw that caution. He absolutely needed a second person behind him for that trade potential. dapr going down. wippie has to do it all. Will the Owl Drone spot him? I think it's just going to isolate the position, but here comes wippie. wippie can't do anything with it, even with the flash from Pony. Penny's not going to swing.
Oh my god, Oxy with a trade.
Amazing reaction.
Text to get aggressive.
2v4 still.
Trent gets the spike down. He's going to at least have the Hunter 3 to play with if that's a contingency, but G2 instantly back away. Nice trade from Oxy, but it's really not for much as Tex gets aggressive in punishing those players, ending any sort of hope for a retake to happen.
Again, G2 only had the one person in the back of sight off of that one pick, but it's not like they had the wrong options. The KJ util looked dangerous. dapr just goes down out of nowhere to valyn. Such a big pick for valyn to get.
Six to 4. It was crucial that G2 got a strong start on the defense. They've at least guaranteed the 6-6. But a little bit more would be very helpful and a big confidence boost to these remaining players. As the guard up, protects once more. Much lighter buy this time from G2.
Look at this hold over towards B. Shifting up once again. We've already seen the KJ util here, but usually it's actually Oxy right behind it to peek with it. They're only going to utilize the Sova. Oxy instead going mid.
valyn, I think, is just going to play alert because he can TP into the back site. ShahZaM. Oh, don't be... The old Ziangli might go down. Gets spotted by the knife, but he tries to swing, and that's just death waiting with open arms there.
You know an attacking op is around too.
And it's just so scary. Tries to swing it, thinks he can best him there, but he can't. Backs away is dapr, but he's already been tagged. There's just no chance to entry. Looks exceptionally clean from these guys. And yeah, valyn TPing with the rest of his team. These last 2 players will be looking to just kamikaze into the site. Take any players down that they can. It's 6 to 5. The guard have brought this one back in a pretty decent manner. This is kind of how Haven was for G2, and we ended 6-6 as well.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't need that dramatic comeback at the end or in the middle of that second half from the other team pushing it back. But G2, again, have been in this position before. Their attacking ascent is where Oxy can truly spread his wings.
Okay, a couple of exits, but it's really nothing damaging. And he might hold on to the rifle, but that's really all we're going to see here from G2. Exits mean nothing when the money is just stocking up the guard in this final round. He's just charging up the ult, which would be nice. He's 1 away now from the KO ultimate. But 6 to 5, the guard, 1 round away from tying this series, or this half up, apologies. And it's an out for both sides. Oxy and Tex, that duel that we've been waiting to happen, both leading their teams. And Oxy, I think, has had the shorter end of the stick when it comes to the offing prowess in this half, as Tex has just been lights out so far with this attacking op.
Again, somehow, the attacking op, you have to be so fluid. Every reaction is a snap when you're on this side. Nobody's going to be peeking him back over towards B main. Knife is pushing players back to mid.
Smart man here. Expected the updraft from Oxy, but Oxy's on the opposite side of the map. So no clash yet. Lockdown here for Net. Hunter's Fury for Trent to boot. No ultimates here for G2, by the way, to cancel these out. So it's a full ult round here. The guard have walked all the way up towards B main. Pop the ultimate. And now how do they respond? dapr backs away. Turret not spotting. When do the swarms get popped? There's an alarm up there to help him.
There they are.
The nanos usually get popped a bit late too. Good timing. But valyn's still safe into sight. dapr through the smoke, snagging down Trent. The guard now down to 4. The paranoia might line up 3 here, but G2 very cautious and rotating.
And that's a Hunter's Fury gone as well for Trent. So Oxy, or apologies, Tex playing with the up. Where's the duel by Oxy as well? Watching the swing, Tex doesn't miss those.
Big shot, but Tex has to do a whole lot more. Through the smoke, Penny takes him down. G2, man advantage, swarming into sight. valyn's in the middle of the smoke. He's done so much damage in this type of position before, but he's done immediately. G2 sweep the site clean. 7-5 going into the next half. There you go, G2.
A fluid retake at that. Spam catching one, instant trade on a Tex as he tries to get out through the smoke. Great recognition from G2 as to what he was trying to do. And the guard wanted the 6-6. We are 7-5.
Down A. One enemy.
And in this next half, it's expectations on expectations. Tex and Oxy, that head-to-head duel that we've been starving and craving for, is being delivered. Both leading their teams and both having amazing individual moments in this series. Oxy back to form here. When his team needs it most, he steps up. And the first half was all between the two of them. The pistol for G2 would get them a lot of momentum to start off this second half. As the guard, we know this is their better side, and the guard, this round here could even things up very, very quickly.
They already start off with that pressure too. Back in A main, G2 might already be forced to use utility. It's a good knife lineup though. With the guard though, they had 3 players in mid. That leaves such a fluid rotation.
Dex. Top here with the Sheriff. Everyone on G2 begins to backpedal towards where dapr is. The back door, if you will. They did this multiple times versus Oxygen. I don't know if the guard watched that map, but they're going to see here in a second what they want to do. Contact made though by dapr. He's going to try and clear that close angle so his team can make a clean entry. Swarm gets broken actually, and same with the turret by the 1 nanoswarm of dapr. So it clears the angle, removes any util, and only 1 player here to receive. The guard are just going to play the retake here, it looks like.
No contact in mid either. At this point, the guard purely relying on just the eyes of Net. G2 able to slip on through, but again, they know the mid shouldn't be taken up. At least it's safe for now. Most players should be on site.
2 flashes, paranoia, and the flash drive goes through with the recon bolt as well. They clear out the middle of the site, and they're getting team fights onto single players. Trent as well with one with a shock.
All of the flashes are gone though. All of the util period is gone for the guard. Here comes dapr, only able to get 1, but the 2 players back on site, now looking to go big. Hiding in the back, wippie able to get 1, wippie dancing. You still have ShahZaM right next to him. wippie down to 19. ShahZaM! Lightning fast! ShahZaM takes down all of them!
Where does that come from ShahZaM in the back of Boathouse? He finds 3, essentially clutching out the round when the guard played that so systematically perfect. Just moving as a unit to clear out the site, to clear out every single angle. But heroics from ShahZaM as players fall into his lap from lane. And that gives G2 8-5 now. ShahZaM coming to life here. That's 3 kills. By the way, that means he only had 2 kills in the first half because he's at 5 right now. And that's one way to get yourself going in the second half.
Gosh, what did the guard even try to focus up on for the second half? Because again, the way that G2 played things out on their ascent is quite methodical. The rotations were quite often, but again, the guard were the ones with the most creativity. Are they going to keep getting that early recon, that early map info into A main, into B main.
Look at that. Turret breaks and 4 players rotate from the guard.
G2 depends on patience and discipline. The guard are giving them all of this space.
They're taking it towards B main. They shift even back towards the A side. Farming orbs now for ShahZaM as well, who's the closest to getting his ult online. It's a retake again for the guard. Kamikaze effort, if you will.
That just goes right out dry. Oh, 2?
Down B.
Revealing area.
30
How does he get 2 there? Net catches them all, but you still have Trent waiting for that smoke to go down. Should be dissipating.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all, because those are 2 very easily recoverable guns.
It's going to be 2 guns. 3 players corralled.
No, never mind. It's actually no guns, because all the Vandals are still alive. I forgot. They only invested 3.
3 players on site. Here comes the shots from ShahZaM. ShahZaM waiting for the drop. Nobody from the guard able to go on. No smokes. It's just an easy crossfire for G2. It doesn't matter if they have the man advantage. It doesn't matter if they have space. At least G2 had the rifles. Again, swipe off the sweat off their foreheads. Should be a 9th, but that's where the guard can come up big.
9-5 G2. Holding onto their 3 rifles. And now is the time for players on the guard to come alive. Tex has been influential. Net and Trent were both on a mission the last 2 maps. Trent is just a shadow of what we saw him on map 1. At like 27 kills. Here he sits with 3 on the half. It's been the Trent, or apologies, Tex and Oxy show. It was Trent and Net earlier.
Yeah.
But at 9-5, these rounds matter. Guard have had a much better defensive side. So there's high expectations now with the rifles out. And we expect to see those kills just start to pick up for the guard. For Trent in particular.
This is big for Tex over in mid. Getting pressured out as G2 take up that full control. 3-4 players heading his direction. Smoke already up.
Oh, Trent!
Trent is gonna get a double here! Huge from Trent! Net now trying to hold it down. Trent going big again!
It's like I literally called his name. I said Trent only with 3 kills, and he gets 3 again to double it. And the guard, 9-6. Off of a huge recon dart play, by the way, from Trent. I mean, this was just Trent mowing them down. Like, there's really no question. I think maybe if you're G2, you should have expected something like that, but still. Trent goes huge with that Odin, and it's such a key figure on a map like Ascent as well. Buy back here for G2. Hunter's Fury to play with, and there's a very heavy lean towards A, but again, keep in mind, with dapr playing towards B, we always see G2 take a step back and assess, hey, what space does dapr have? Can we rotate out?
Contact doesn't see anything. Back over in A main. I think dapr might be a little more willing to make some noise over on B, and that's exactly what he did. He ticks off the turret. Gonna go back over towards the mid side to potentially get a double contact with a jet in top mid. But G2 right now is working the entire map right now with barely any contacts.
Gonna walk up here towards Cat. Dart cleared out this bottom arch mid. I think a knife just got chucked from JonahP.
Yeah, Jonah's all the way back.
Never mind. Oh yeah, the knife did just get chucked, and it catches 2 players, both ShahZaM and Penny. There's still no info here towards Cat. That's where the hit comes. Oxy trying to get into sight now. It's Tex alongside valyn in the back sight, and here comes the players.
Tex is just gonna hold the back of his Omen. There goes valyn. Valyn just needs to hold on. What a beautiful, beautiful hold. The dynamic duo in the back. valyn did not need to worry about Jenny. He had more than enough support.
Not a chance in the world for G2 on this exec. Look at valyn and Tex. The angles that they're fighting are perfect because Dice is protecting valyn from anyone A main. So him working alongside the rest of his team to isolate the Jenny fight and then together swinging to main. It is systematic. It's almost like it's one player controlling 5. Resetting G2. Sheriff 5. And the G2 law is they've got a chance to always win the Sheriff rounds. We'll see if they can do it here.
Tough to always give that sort of reason, but again, time after time, they keep proving us wrong. But G2 even on a pistol round, they are willing to kind of play a bit of a lurk, play that push and pull.
Tex here with mid. He broke the early util towards me committing players there.
Nice.
Oh god, Tex. Just off the ADS as well is gonna find him.
Still looking for a whole lot more. Double.
A lot of info as well now, yeah. So G2, man disadvantage. Tex looking for the info. Trent, yep. Paper thin walls on this map, so the Odin is just, you gotta be careful of that. I think for the rest of the map, you have to be careful of Trent's presence with that Odin.
It's crazy you say that, by the way. Dapr's been sort of the nerd in the last few weeks in terms of wall bangs. Trent, he's proving it now. Yet another one. This time with no info.
Looking for more as well in case anyone got out to switch. Last 3 players, Whippies, trying to get some kind of lurk. Maybe he gets a kill, picks up a rifle, but yeah, 15 seconds left. I doubt it, to be honest, and I will be proven right. It's the guard, 8 to 9. Closing the distance within 1. Now ult's coming forward. Trent's got his Hunter's Fury. He's found a multitude of kills on this Odin already. And now it's up to G2 to find a response here in this next round. They will have the rifles in their hand, but it's contingent that they win. The loss here resets some, guard take the lead, and G2 have to try and cut the blood flow of momentum from the guard, snipping the wire. It's this robust, robotic guard continue to march their way forward to this scoreline of 13.
Valyn, as per usual. Front side. Waiting for the contact. The lineup does get him. That doesn't worry him at all. Could easily be back over towards Wine.
Penny on the ult here now.
Back in main.
Hold up. 3 ultimates lined up here. Penny could pop this lockdown, or apologies, dapr could pop the lockdown to make the exit happen.
Take flight.
ShahZaM out towards mid. I think this is to pull players towards guard, and I like this from ShahZaM. And it does do exactly that. And you can see the Garter has shifted their util here towards Garden as well, especially with net stuff. Shock Dart breaks the 1 nanoswarm. So now they have to kind of double up here now. That drone signifying a hit there. And they're relying on that turret and nanoswarm to be the protectors of A, but Tex is the protector of mid.
Always well timed. But G2, they are still taking that space. Will it be the counter smoke? Will it be any sort of counter util? From Valyn. Valyn does finally pull out of smoke in the middle of main. G2 running out of space, but it's still 2 in the back of sight for the guard. Nobody's actually holding outside. Valyn, how does he get that kill though? Penny goes down through the smoke. They're still trying to make their way through, and even another one. Valyn gets 2 kills through the smoke on the same player. 3v3 though. Lockdown finally going in. Trent holds on again. 15 seconds left. The lockdown is gone, and Wippie, he's been making this flank the entire time. No time remaining. The guard have the 9th.
And another hold. Another successful one from the guard. And it's 2 players I feel like that are making the difference. It's Tex and Trent. Tex finds the first kill. And a lot of ultimates. A lot of ultimates invested in this round from G2. Hunter's Fury lockdown and the null command. A lot of big players coming out in that round. And now the guard at 9 to 9. It's a timeout called here by G2, presumably. Yeah, it is. Trying to figure out how they get back into this. Tex is a man on a mission. Oxy's kind of faded off a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Hasn't put up the best numbers. Tex has got 5 in this half. Oxy hasn't found anything yet in this second half. And it is always the attacking side where we see him on the favorable side where he is good at getting entries. But this time around, he's getting shut down by 2 key things. Trent and his Odin, and Tex and his operator.
It's on this side that you expect Oxy. An average of 4 first kills on the attack side. But again, if you're Tex, he keeps exploiting just one angle every single round. It's the same fluidity that we talked about Oxy, and Trent is enacting that right now. I mean, that's just classic jet play really on this map at this point. G2 are falling victim to it almost every single time. They are patient in making their run up, but that just gives more time for the op to just be in a better spot.
Ooh, Trent's changed up his position here with the Odin. What's he got cooking up for us? I don't think the Hunter Sphere is going to get used. Definitely not. He catches all 3 players, by the way, as well. Very nice snipe there from Penny. And that will accelerate this push towards mid after catching 3 players there. They know they want to hit the B side here. Alarm bot's a little bit closer, so it does spot them out, and now it's up to them to accelerate. But of course, Tex lands that kind of shot.
Tex with a big one. Net. Some rare misses, but still ends up getting a kill. The man in the back. There's going to be 2, potentially. No, valyn TP's away. It's only Tex. Tex looking for a few here. Gonna line up one over towards ShahZaM. Never mind.
A huge shot to shut down Tex in the backside. And Trent couldn't get his Hunter's Fury out.
Hunter's
now
Fury.
He is, but where can he find? He got a tag, but he's not getting anything else off the Hunter's Fury. No kills, no tags, no damage. ShahZaM has picked up the op here.
Huge spot for wippie. wippie waiting for the contact, waiting for that swing out. JonahP has been waiting the whole time. No, this spot for wippie is so dangerous. Could get wall banged. Walls made out of paper mache. ShahZaM does indeed have the off though, looking for that one-shot kill potential. Oh, valyn, what a TP, but it all has to be on ShahZaM. 45 HP, looking for a headshot onto Jonah. The spray from Trent, however, does it all, and the defuse will go down for the lead for the guard.
And guard taking back control of this game. Scrappy, very nice sentries there from G2, and I like the gameplay. They recognize the three-player aggression over towards A, and they say, let's just pivot, go towards B. We know it's the weaker site, and it nearly works out. But it's cautious here from the guard on this retake. valyn, that TP is heroic. Gets all the way across, and the nade and the pressure that they put on ShahZaM in the backside so that his op is kind of useless. Gives the guard the space to make the retake happen, and look at this 5-man hit towards the A site.
It's gonna be
one person has the big gun to try and receive them.
It's gonna be Blade Storm versus Op. Oxy waiting. Tex still has the dash. The knife doesn't connect. It is Tex instead to stay sharp. Penny swings out immediately, taking him down, and how does wippie get another one?
A gravel got sent into that one, catching both those players trying to rotate out.
Oh, what is this from Jonah?
He slinks back in towards A, but he's got... I don't like this. I don't know if I like this.
He's gonna have to solo hold A essentially from here.
Yeah, he's got no backdoor, no way to get out except for a flash to try and cross. And look at G2. They start to pivot back towards B. And Net with the timing begins to peel away.
Hey, he's just gonna stay around, at least close enough for his util to still be in radius.
Yeah, he will have the turret and the nanostormers, but he's not in a position to fight. His lockdown is kind of useless here on this retake. And I think if you're G2, your best bet is to hit the B side because it's so hard to get an effective lockdown on this defending side towards B.
Standing ahead.
30 seconds left though. These nanos might have the effect they want. Oh my goodness, now what a shot. An even better shot from dapr. Right through the wall, beaming him away. Man advantage for G2 going into the post plant. No ultis on the board. Whole lot of util for the guard still. Oh wow.
Nice shock. Doesn't finish him off those. Trent
oh my
is
God.
Going to finish him off with this Odin. Bro. There's a flank though. And I don't think they realize it as well. I'm looking at this minimap, but I'm seeing dapr start to heat up. It's about timing here though. He's far from the fight.
They're gonna
How
go through.
quick can he get here? Because that's a great entry.
He's gonna get called out.
Opportunity. But the door is closed. The door is actually closed. So his flank is spotted out of here. And Trent, of course it has to be Trent. He knows what side he's on. It's paper mache. He wants to spam. Trent changes guns. Knows what he has to do here. Can the spam work?
He's off angle.
Dapr's missing. Dapr's missing.
Trent pulled the gun.
And Trent's gonna get it. And there's just enough time for Trent to make the clutch happen. 11-9 guard pull it off.
This might have just given the guard the path at least to overtime, but oh my goodness, Trent pulls the guard even more into the lead. Biggest lead so far in this game so far.
G2 have been here before. 12-7 on split. 5 rounds in a row, and they've won that map out. Now it could be the same here.
What is this, man?
Must win round. What a spam as well. Trent has just been cooking in the lab with these wall bangs. They're not crazy, but he's got them down to a T on this silver. So not something that we saw all that often last year from him. But here he's mastered the Odin.
This position. Oh! Oxy coming up on Cat. JonahP's position. It is unknown, but should be banged out. Wippie takes him down. Valyn looking to stand his ground, but it just does not happen. G2 with a 2-man advantage. Make it a 3-man advantage. Spray in from Tex. Tex thinks he's Trent.
Oh, hold on. The lockdown's going to catch at least one, so does Tex go for this? Yeah, he's on the one player to 10. I was like, bro, maybe I do. It's not going to happen. G2, very explosive, catching Trent mid-spray. And I think that's what G2 kind of need to do a little bit more is, I mean, that's what they're good at, right? It's just these quick pops, contact plays. When the contact's made, you get a kill and you instantly get into sight. G2 did that here. And G2 need to do it again. Tex holds onto the op. He'll have a bye moving forward, and so will the rest of his team. It's buys for both sides for the rest of this map. It's 2 rounds separating Guard and M80 right now. And it's 3 rounds separating G2 to again playing spoiler to what seems to be the fated rematch. But G2 have only faced one team from the other side, the other group, and that's the Guard here today. Can they make it 2? And will they both be the top dogs? We'll find out here because they have still so much work to do.
G2 are going to face some minor adversity. Back over towards that mid-side. Tex might get up some decent information early on, but doesn't actually go for the big swing back over in mid. Instead, the Guard still have knife. I don't exactly know if it already got used. No contact whatsoever. With JonahP backing away, the null command can't have its reaction.
They start to pivot back over to the B site. dapr again, that backdoor exit. I don't know what is cooking up here, man.
What is happening?
Spike, and I was thinking for a second, oh, they dropped the spike so they hear the noise, but no, they go back towards A. The spike leans there. Oh my god, I hate this.
It's just the Guard is not doing anything, right?
They're trying to fake here.
G2's in their own heads.
I'm glad a third person comes over here to the A side. I thought it was going to be a 2-player hit towards A. There's still 3 here waiting from the Guard. But Tex is kind of this immovable object. I expect him to stay here. And JonahP will be here for the retake as well with his null command. And then, oh, the timing on that knife is phenomenal. Tex
no util.
Players.
No smokes to cross, and they have someone, Cat. They're going to have to hold on to Cat, though. 25 seconds left. 2 players trying to cross on. Valyn has to do a whole lot here. Valyn with 1. Only 1. Still 1 over in heaven. Is JonahP looking to jump? What is JonahP doing here? Okay, he does wait. Good patience. He's going to try to retake with his team. Out he goes. 2 and Jenny. 1 in the back of sight. The players for the Guard. The swings are actually working, but Trent left now in a... Oh my goodness, a 1v2. He heard the damage on dapr though!
But not enough from Trent. And G2 tied up again. 11-11. We continue to push forward. And G2 have got all the advantages here with their ultimates. Lockdown into Hunter's Fury. We're going to see some flurry of ultimates come through in these next couple of rounds, and there's just no way the Guard get their lockdown and null command online.
What'd you say about economy?
There's an opportunity, and look at how scrappy the buys are, right? I thought there was buys galore, but Guard don't have much of it, and they have to make this round costly for G2.
This is
like
the round
between these 2 teams.
There is no way Guard can do anything after this round if they end up going down. This smoke, uncharacteristic though. Covering off tiles. The Owl drone, however, knowing that it's not a 2-way push, that the contact would only be coming from Cat, if anything.
dapr on this lockdown, and I'm looking for Penny to get this ult orb, and that's what they're getting it. He's got the spike as well. 4 ultimates now for G2. How do they want to use them? It's a regroup, a hit towards the A site. Guarantee yourself at least series and grand finals advancement point. Cosmic Divide for Wippie's gonna set themselves up. They just want the plant. This is the wall that's just gonna angle it. Oh no, never mind.
Oh wow.
It's a wall that goes all the way.
All the way up to heaven. Oxy's looking for a big pick over. JonahP slides in. Needing to go for more is JonahP, but ShahZaM does take back the trade. No, Trent, you don't You don't swing this, right? No, he's contemplating it.
That's not going to work. Wallbang's not going to work there with the Cosmic Divide, and he realized it. Just playing with their food now. Where's the spam? Who goes down? And the lockdown to secure this round as well.
So deep.
And Trent gets caught in it. Two players get caught in it. That has to be the round.
No way. At least they can save though, right?
They have to try and save it at least. And we go Hunter's Fury for Hunter's Fury in this next round. G2, would you believe it? They're on series point against the guard.
You said what?
Series point here against the guard.
Last round of regulation coming up. This time G2 had double contact back over towards B main. Mid, however, for the guard, it was at least focused up on in terms of the one smoke. They didn't re-aggress it. They let G2 play it like a playground.
And on a mission. dapr leading his team. Oxy with only a single kill in the second half. Hex at 22. A moment to breathe. Tension so thick. You can cut it with a knife here for the guard, and they know what's at stake here with this next round. They hold on to those 3 weapons. That's their saving grace. So they have a bye in what could be their final round of Split 1. Seeded number 2 heading into the midseason face-off.
They want that number 1.
Destined to face against number 1 M80. Lost in the upper bracket. Semifinals. Dropped here to the lower bracket finals. And it was G2 that slogged their way through it all. Lost to Oxygen. Had to beat Moist Moguls and FaZe Clan. And had a rematch. The 3rd time they played Oxygen. And they beat them. And now for the first time against the guard. They have a chance to close out this series. And G2, a team that exceeded all expectations, are 1 step away, 1 round away from getting to M80. And it's with an ultimate in ShahZaM and the confidence of Oxy.
Both smokes already being utilized by valyn.
Very early.
Could be a weird info war here. They want all of it. The guard at least gets something with the owl drone. Oh my goodness, Hunter's Fury this early!
And he gets 1.
That's all you could ask for.
Looks for something else. Wanted something towards A main. That could be big. That's the first kill the way of the guard. But can they convert? Can they convert in a round like this that matters so much? Can ShahZaM do the same?
You already know that Hunter's Fury should be good for 1 in ShahZaM's hands.
What is this? Text with no op. Text towards Cat.
Are they backing
Text
off of A?
Heaven. What happens here between the guard? A TP, a good clear, but they see nothing. They see nothing, and is that an illusion? Is that a false hope here for the guard? And it's not. They stick around.
Oh, the knife!
G2, wait. Oxy doesn't break.
They already knew that there was a contact in A main. Now they see a contact over in Cat. G2 are making their way up. ShahZaM is trying to clear.
There's dapr as well on this flank as well. He's trying to cut things off. Where do these rotates happen? No,
dapr,
Oxy caught in the open. It's not his round. dapr, can he cook? dapr,
he got nothing.
Clean. There's nothing there for him, and they're not even into sight yet. wippie with 1 big kill.
Only 1 in the back of sight. valyn, oh, Spectre does the job it needed to do. Gets 1. Spike could be able to go down in the back of sight. wippie's holding. No flashes against them. wippie through the wall. 2 more players in heaven. Trent trying to go out. Big shot for wippie. Neat and tidy dapr. 1v1 versus his clone net. Here comes dapr. Needs the headshot, using the turret as the contact, knows he's still in heaven. He's looking for the drop. dapr dancing, net trying to catch him!
Attackers win.
The guard are nothing for the samurai! G2 are going to grand final!